That's a nice shot. Hey! Wow! I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hey!
All right. So, welcome to OnceAHoo. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Today, we have a very special guest. All right. Now, everybody knows that OnceAHoo is about alumni. It's about what's going on now and connecting the two, bridging the two. So today we have somebody that's very special to the program. And a lot of people know Ahmad Hawkins as the voice they hear breaking down Virginia football. But before the microphone, before the analysis, there was a Hampton kid who came to Charlottesville, switched positions, battled through adversity, and became a Cavalier forever. And so I wanted to talk to him about just his process, his journey, and what it's like to be a Charlottesville native guy right now, coming from Hampton and making Charlottesville his home. So help me welcome one of the most loved people in Charlottesville, specifically close to the team, my man, Ahmad Hawkins. So, my man, first I want you to introduce yourself to people and just kind of say who you are, you know what I mean? And tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right, so Ahmad Hawkins Sr., because my son, who's 16, is junior. So Ahmad Rashad Hawkins Sr. from Hampton, Virginia, born in Newport News, Virginia. I like to say my younger years that molded me, I grew up in Newport News. And then once I got to the 6th grade, I moved in with my big mother who lived in Hampton. And I went to Lindsay Middle School. So that's when I became the kid from Hampton. And I went to Hampton High after that for high school, and played for legendary high school head coach Mike Smith, and won a couple state championships, won a national championship my senior year, played with probably the best high school quarterback in the state of Virginia and one of the best ever in the country in Ronald Curry. So I was blessed in that. And got recruited. Chose to come to UVA because of Aaron Brooks, a guy I grew up idolizing, and my dad coached him in baseball. And we all played baseball in like Anderson Park Little League. And that became a who, and was fortunate enough to catch a pass from Aaron Brooks that allowed me to be remembered, not only remembered forever, but linked with him. So I came to UVA because of Aaron Brooks, and now I'm linked with Aaron Brooks as a part of one of the greatest plays in our football history.
Man, that's beautiful, man. You know, Hampton has a lot of history, a lot of great players. Growing up in Hampton, how was the football culture back in the day when you were growing up?
I mean, it was life, man. It's like football was the vehicle to get out of our current situation. Whether you grew up in a single-parent household, two-parents household, like sports, preferably football, was the way to go. My dad played football at Huntington High School. He was on the legendary high school football team as well. The Huntington Vikings, they went undefeated. And not truly understanding that history and knowing a lot about my dad prowess until I started playing football, and people started learning who I was and who my dad was, and just telling me stories about him. And then my cousin Sean Hamlet, who, ironically, he started at Minchfield High School, which is a Newport News, city of Newport News high school. And then he transferred to Hampton High School for his junior, I think he came in sophomore year. Then his junior and senior year, he started, and then he went to Florida State. So when my cousin went to Florida State, that opened my eyes to everything. Because I only knew about like Norfolk State, Hampton University. I only knew about the local colleges. So when he went to Florida State, I was like, yo, what is that? And one of his games, like they won a national championship, beat Nebraska. He was a part of that team. So football is big in our hometown at a 757.
So when you were a kid, was it always like a goal? Like everybody, it was so big down there that was it always something you were kind of leaning towards?
Yeah, football was always like the love and what I wanted, what I wanted to do, because like I said, my dad did it and then Sean. So those are the two guys that I idolized growing up. And, I watched, my dad watched, all he watched was sports. All he talked about was sports. We played football, basketball, baseball. You play football, no matter the weather, you played a sport. So in the fall, football. In the winter, basketball. In the spring, baseball. And that was it. Just played. If we wasn't playing for organized, we was playing pickup. Like we played pickup baseball when I was growing up. We had bags or balls, bats, gloves, batting helmets, and we would try to get 18, but you get 5-on-5, 6-on-6, and you would go out and you play pickup baseball back then. But football was the vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big culture. I mean, I grew up in Northern Virginia. I grew up in New York, and then I moved to Northern Virginia in my high school years. And it was just in Virginia in general, it was a big thing. Football was a big thing. So I'm right there with you. So for the younger generation that's coming in right now, trying to get to college, stuff like that, go over how the recruiting process was for you, because we both know things are a lot different. The questions are different. What you're expecting is different. Where am I going to sleep is like not a question for them now, right? Who's going to help me buy a car is what they're asking. So how was it for you?
Back then we didn't have social media. Back then, if you had a cordless phone in your house, you was doing the big. But recruiting was something that I didn't truly understand until it started. Like I said, my cousin went to Florida State. Watching him play at Florida State, work his way up through the depth chart. I remember going to some games he wouldn't get in, but as a year or two passed, he started getting in the game. He was a starter. So that became a school I wanted to go to. And I just remember, wondering what the process was. And I remember playing basketball with my friends at Booker T. Washington Middle School on 36th Street in Newport News. And my dad came down the street with a questionnaire from Florida State. And I'm pretty sure my cousin was probably talking to like their assistant coaches, like, hey, just send a questionnaire out. And a questionnaire is just getting your information, like your grade point average, your name, your height, weight, accomplishments, things of that nature. Like you're doing everything for them. So that's what they would do back in the day. They would send questionnaires to coaches of, hey, give these out to your starters or anybody that has an aspiration to play football at the next level. Like that was the feeler. So that's how the recruiting process truly started for me, with just questionnaires. So Coach Smith would just give us questionnaires from different colleges and you fill them out. And, I played varsity my freshman year. So, hey, I had 2 punt returns versus Gloucester at homecoming and mop-up time, for touchdowns. And then my sophomore year, these are my numbers. And if those numbers impress them and your measurables impress them and they happen to come down recruiting a guy older than you, then that would start the recruiting process where they would start to call you home. And the phone calls would usually start around like 7 o'clock because they knew you had practice. So like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., your phone would ring. And back then you would get excited because the phone calls wouldn't last that long, but it was like, hey, how you doing? What your grades look like? They'll talk about the previous game that you had, or if they didn't see the film, they'll ask you about the game. But it wasn't like it is today where you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have all these social media sites like Huddle to where you can interact with the scouts and the assistant coach and the head coach, where you could DM coaches. Like that lines of communication was so quick and it was so much easier for them to touch you. So back then, I would say it probably was nerve-wracking, but I was oblivious to it because I just played football. I was always taught like control what you can control and the recruiters will come. Like if I was wondering if I was going to get recruited by a certain school, Coach Smith was like, hey, you got to produce. Go out there and produce. Do your job, and they'll come find you.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest differences is it wasn't as commercial as it is now, I would say. Yeah, like we definitely didn't have any social media, and they can reach out directly, and there's a lot of different avenues that they can recruit now. So that's definitely a thing. Okay, so when did you were speaking about Florida State, and so I'm sure you got a few offers. So when did you know that UVA would be the place that you're like, I'm thinking this is the place I want to go?
So I came on a couple unofficial visits because it was former players from Hampton that was here. So like Aaron Mundy he was a little older than my cousin Sean. He played tight end here. And then I knew about Aaron Brooks coming here, but they were recruiting Donnie Green, who played defensive end, and he was a year ahead of me. So my junior year, we won a state championship. Donnie Green led our area in sacks. And when he would come up to UVA, I came with him, and they were considered unofficial. So I just remember we came to the Tech game in 95, and then we came to another game. But anytime Donnie came up, I came with him because Coach Smith and or Coach Mann would drive us up. So we would just come to the games. And so those were technically like my unofficial visits. I even think when Donnie came was official, I might have tagged along. But I came to Virginia quite a few times, but it wasn't like a school I felt like I would go to because I was caught up in going to Florida State because Sean was there. And then my senior year, I started getting recruited by a lot of schools after the first couple of games my senior year. Virginia was already recruiting me. After my middle of my junior year, they started showing interest. But after my first 4 or 5 games in high school, and my senior year, everybody, because I was scoring 2 and 3 touchdowns a game and catching bombs. So I really had a good coming out party in my senior year. So a lot of schools started recruiting me. But as far as Virginia, honestly, I was stuck on going to Florida. So Florida State didn't really recruit me. Once they sent that questionnaire, they never really showed true interest. So Florida did a lot because they had receivers like Jacquez Green, who were smaller guys like myself. So Steve Spurrier showed a lot of interest, a lot. So truth be told, I was going to Florida. That was pretty much coming to Virginia for a visit where Aaron, because Aaron hosted me. That was like a formality. I'm gonna just go there because my grandmother told me, hey, you need to visit Virginia. Because when I came to Virginia, I think they was on winter break. It was nobody here but just the football team.
Nothing to really do, yeah.
Yeah, just me and Antoine Womack came up because he was on the visit with me. He ended up coming here too, but he was committed. He committed. So after we came back from Virginia, he essentially committed to Penn State. I was essentially going to Florida. And before I officially committed to Florida, I had never visited the campus and saw the amenities and what they had. So I flew down to Florida, didn't realize it was that far away from home. Even though I went to Tallahassee, but Gainesville, I was like, yo, this is out here. And I remember visiting Florida, having a good time, meeting Jacquez Green, and I forgot the defense. They had a defensive back that actually won the Jim Thorpe Award that year, and that was 96 season. So I know he won number 4, but I remember he took me to a basketball game and was in the parking lot of the arena, and he was like, "Let me see what you got." And he was like, "Get off the jam." We was in the parking lot, so I gave him a little move, a little release. And he kind of touched me and he kind of looked at me. He was like, "How you liking the visit?" I was like, the swamp was cool. Steve Spurrier was on the 50-yard line on a stationary bike. They had my jersey. It was almost like the program, right? You ever seen the program back in the day?
Yeah, for sure.
When Darnell came to visit ESU, and they put his name up, he was with Holly Berry, and he put his name up there, and they got so they ain't have an announcer. but my name and my number is in the jumbo. It's almost like the program.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, this is like, they really wowing me out here. But it just didn't feel right going to Florida, because it hit me. Because the guy, and I forgot his name, but when we was in the parking lot and I was doing the release, he was like, what makes you want to go to Florida? And I was like, well, my cousin went to Florida State. He was like, oh yeah? And I told him the name. He knew Sean. He was like, why would you want to go to the rival school? I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, we just tied, because they met them they beat them in the national championship that year. And I go, damn, I didn't even think of that. He was like, man, you gonna go to Virginia. Your cousin ain't gonna let you come here. I was like, he ain't got nothing, he ain't got nothing to do with my decision. Lo and behold, Sean was like, man, what you doing? Like, you don't want to go to Florida. Like, you need to stay home. You need to go to Virginia. Like, go to Virginia instead of Florida. And
yeah, you had to listen to him, ain't it?
Yeah, but when I got back, so I get back Sunday, Coach Welsh catches wind that I'm possibly going to sign with Florida, and he drives down. And I want to say that Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday afternoon, he came down with Coach O'Brien, and he's in my living room and talking to me. And my big mama let him sit on the couch with the plastic.
There it is.
And that was the nail in the coffin. Once he sat on the good furniture with the plastic, and she gave him the North Carolina barbecue with the greens and the cornbread.
Oh man.
Hey, you can't compete with Big Mama. Big Mama closed that deal for him.
Listen, man, I don't even know how much that's a thing anymore, man. But like having Al London come into my house and give my sister a hug and shake my mother's hand, and you know what I mean? And I mean Al Golden and Coach London too, because they both recruited me, because Coach Golden was actually the defensive coordinator, and London was he just did D-line, I think it was.
Yeah.
So that was before Golden left for Temple, but yeah, they recruited me heavily, man. And so that type of thing, sitting down with your parents and getting to know them, I don't think, I hope that this generation experiences that, but back then it was like, we want to know who you are. We want to know your family. They were walking through your school, talking to your teachers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so that I miss that, man. I don't know if it's like that now. I hope it's like that now. But
yeah, I think, I'm pretty sure they visit the household, but I would hope they do. Because if not, they missing out. The young people missing out.
For sure. It's an experience that everybody should have, especially coming into a program and leaving your parents, Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a dope story, man. That was a dope story, because I had flashbacks. So for sure. All right. So what was your first reaction when you saw UVA the first time? Like the campus, it's built up a lot now. I can imagine what kids think when they see it now. But when we first came, it was still something. Mm-hmm. I remember the first time I saw the stadium full. You know what I mean? So how was it for you the first time you seen Virginia in full effect?
Man, it was loud, because like I said, I came with Donnie Green the 95 game versus Tech, and that's what Joe Keek tried to stick his foot out and trip Antonio Banks when he got that interception on the sideline. And all the Virginia fans remember that. So I was there for that game. And I ain't gonna lie, when I came on my visit, I just paid attention to like the players. Like, I remember playing Madden with Thomas Jones in the first year dorms. I remember hanging out with Jermaine Crowell and Aaron Brooks. And I remember the McHugh Center. It was probably like 5 or 6 years old, I think, or maybe less than that, because I think it got done. No, it got done, I think 91 or 90, but it was still within 5 to 7 years old. So that was dope. And I was so used to playing in front of big crowds at Darling Stadium that I ain't realized what a big crowd really was until I got here. My first game here was versus Auburn on a Friday night. Ooh. And that place was packed. I mean, it was loud. I had never got like I used to be nervous because I was just anxious. But my first college football game versus Auburn in '97, like I was like terrified, especially when I saw Dex hit one of their receivers who jumped in the air and hit him square in the chest with his face. And I was just like, oh man. And the crowd was going crazy. But yeah. Oh, I'll tell you a fun story. So when I came in that summer in '97, we had first year camp. So only the first years practice for like 2 days. It was like a first year 2-a-day camp. Or did we practice this once? I think we practiced this once, but it was like, no, it was 3 days. 3 days we practiced. It was just all first year. So the receivers that came in that year was myself, Kenny Crawford, and Scooter Clark. And we had one DB, and that was Devon Simmons. And we were doing one-on-ones, all these drills, and he was the only DB, bro. When I tell you, we was running him into the dirt, because they was like, again, like Marcos was the defensive backs coach. He was like, running again. Bro, I don't know if we were out of shape or if they just ran us to death, but I remember my lower back locked up so bad during that little 3-day camp that when we did it, I was like, oh, I'm thinking, because it was 22 of us, like your Brennan Isabel, Earl Sims, Billy Baber, he was a tight end. Dan Ellis was the quarterback. Like we Tyree Form, we had so many guys. So my high school, bro, we probably had like 30 people on the team. So if our recruiting class like 20, 22, I'm naive. I'm not realizing like, hold on, this ain't the whole team. This is just the first year. Right. Man, when them upperclassmen came in, Wally Rayner and all them loud dogs came in there, and Dex, I was just like, all right, what the hell? But that first ever full-fledged practice with the upperclassmen, we get how the locker rooms were. The first years had the locker room facing the equipment room and facing the lockers that was on the wall. So everybody had to go to their lockers to get their drawstring bag with all their practice gear. I remember Wally Rayner came, had his Lokes on, singing, he rapping Tupac. He go in the locker, get his stuff, he slam it real hard, he just look at us, he go, hey, if y'all see me fighting a bear, help the bear, and walks away.
That's Wally for 100%. I listen, let me tell you something, man. That dude, listen, man, he calmed down a lot. I was talking to him like a few months ago. There was like his UVA thing for to hire the students that were graduating, and it was Wally was one of the guys who were there. And I walked up to him. I said, Wally, he said, what's up, man? I said, man, you don't remember last time we talked? You said you wanted to push my skull back. You don't remember that? He was like, what? Yo, that's my dog, though. I ain't even gonna hold you. But he was like, man, I done changed a lot. I done calmed down a lot. That dude was a dog. He was the definition of a dog, man. Like, man, I miss it.
He was insane. And what I love about just Wally, Dwayne Stoops, Antoine Harris, like all those OG guys, like they welcome us in. Like they beat us up on the field, don't get me wrong, but once practice was over, like they welcome us in. I was with Wally so much my first year. Like I was getting that green Pathfinder and just be riding. Just come on, AD-Ock. Come on, AD-Ock. Like that was my nickname, AD-Ock Mod. Cause everybody, once they saw my name was Ahmad, they was like, are you Muslim? And it was like, cause if you from, you say in the native tongue it's Ahmed, but it was going Ahmad. So it was AD-Ock.
Yeah, they're gonna give you a name, big dog. My name, like soon as they saw me, my name was Bear.
Was Bear?
Bear, and it stuck. And like everybody, like if you say Bear, like everybody knows me as Bear. They like a lot of people sometimes I feel like don't even know my name. They just call me Bear.
It get like that. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But yeah, I got some more stories, but I'm gonna just focus on you because you bringing me back with these stories, big dog. But yeah, all right. So let's move to the academic side, right? Do you think it was only football that gave you that culture shock, or was it the academics as well?
Oh, it was. So Hampton High School, and like my guidance counselor at Hampton, my aunt Laverne, you know, they instill education and the importance of being prepared and things like that. So as far as the education piece, that wasn't a tough transition. The biggest transition for me was I had never had a major injury in football. And in November versus Maryland in 97, I tore 2 ligaments and dislocated my right ankle at Maryland. And I had never been in have surgery or anything. So I wasn't prepared for that part of my life, like the responsibility piece, because I had surgery like a week later, and in the midst of rehabbing, I didn't contact any professors. I missed a lot of class.
Right.
Lo and behold, you know, I missed a couple finals just because I thought everybody knew I was hurt. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, all the professors know I had surgery. Because in high school, that's how it operates, right? It's like, if you have an injury or some type of illness, it's a high school. So
Right.
the coach, the principals, everybody's going to know it'll trickle down. But this is college. Like, you got to do your own, you know, communicating. And I didn't do that. So when I went home for break and came back, I had a manila envelope in my mailbox saying I was academically ineligible and I was, you know, basically getting removed from school. And the one class I was always, I was always taught to sit at the front of the class. And I had 2 lecture classes, because the other ones I had to like math 101, like, you know, the introductory classes that they gave you. And I had religion 101 with Professor Warren. Now she's Dean Warren. But I used to sit in the front, and she used to write on the old school projector, the dry erase projector. And she had this different slides, and if she was going too fast, she would put it down because she had 2, so she would kind of rotate like which one she erased. So the one she just did, she would just put it down to her left, which was, I was sitting, if you facing her, I was on the right of her, but if she's facing me, I'm to the left of her. So she would always swipe one down, right? And then just switch them, keep switching them. So I would take the slide and write the notes down, because if she was going too fast, right?
Right.
That's how she like one day, after about 2 days of being in the class, because it was a Monday, Wednesday class, and they had the discussion on Friday, she asked what my name was, told her what my name was, and that's all she wanted to know, right? I took her final, but when I got into my situation, I went to her and just kind of vented to her what was going on. And she told me the process with the honor system and the board, like I could write a letter on your behalf and they'll allow you to remain, but they'll put you on probation. You know, You gotta have like a 3.0, go to summer school, maintain that, and then basically your probation would be done. So she wrote a letter on my behalf, and she saved my life. You know, it's Dean Warren now, but it just goes to show, like, me being visible during that class, and not being too prideful to say, hey, I can't keep up as fast. Because I was a guy that I had to write stuff down to retain it. Because she asked, she was like, why are you writing everything down? I was like, that's how I remember stuff. If I write it down, I can remember it. You know, that's how I was just programmed. So, but the other piece, as far as like just the work in itself, I didn't have too much of an issue because of my Aunt Laverne and how she made me prepare for school. Because I was a knucklehead growing up, and she really taught me how to study, put the time in, how to try to master the information. And she was the one that taught me how to write to retain. Write it down. And if your hand hurt, take the break, but you're going to remember it better if you write it down. And I'm still like that to this day. I just write something down, and I might have to write it down more than once, but that's my way of studying, because I'm trying to finish what I'm supposed to write. And if I could write it down without looking again, I've retained it. So.
Yep. I got you. So Aunt Laverne, thank you very much.
Yeah, God rest her soul. She passed away a couple of years ago.
Condolences, man.
Yeah, but
sure.
Aunt Laverne And her birthday's I was born on her birthday. My mom was born on her birthday, then I was born on my mom and her birthday. So all three of us have the same birthday.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You hear that? So parents, if you're watching, kids, if you're watching, make sure you know that, you know what I mean? Like your parents are very important. Like having someone who believes in structure and believes in you is very, very important. And making sure that you are locked in before college, not when you get to college, because being locked in before college means when you get to college, you'll know how to adjust.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a great story, man. Great story. All right, so let's jump a little bit back to football. I'll tell you a story about me. So here's something that no one knows about me.
Okay.
Literally no one. This is going to be the first time I ever said this to anybody. I did not play football growing up. I played 1 year of high school football. That's it. That was my entirety of football in my entire life. And when I got to UVA, that was my second year ever playing football. Nobody knows that. So
is that because you grew up in New York? Like, when did you go to high school? Was it once you got here or when you was in New York?
So I was in high school in New York. I went to Samuel J. Tilden. And after I left like the end of my sophomore year. So when I got to Virginia, it was the end of my sophomore year. Okay. And all I knew was basketball. And then the coach saw me and said, you need to play football. And so, you know what I mean? So he saw me, I came out, and honestly, like my first year, I got 15 sacks. Like I had a bunch of, I think it was like 74, 84 solo tackles or something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers. It's been like, what, 20 years or something? But anyway, so that being said, I just kind of rose to the ranks, and I was very, very religious. And so I didn't know what I was doing, dude. I was just out there.
Just playing.
So just playing, yeah. And so I didn't work out much. When I got to UVA, the part that really shell-shocked me, brother, you know what I'm about to say, was the workouts. Like, I didn't even know how to do ladders, brother. I said, what is this? And they were looking at me crazy, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, nobody knew my story. They didn't know it's my second year playing, man. I don't know the terms. I don't know the difference between 4-3 and 3-4. Like, bro, I didn't know any of that. You know what I mean? So I was just playing. And so that's something that a lot of people don't know. Well, but they're gonna know now after they watch this, but you know what I mean? But what's something that what's your biggest adjustment for you from moving from high school to moving to ACC football?
The biggest adjustment for me was route running, because in high school, we were a I formation, power, offensive scheme, but we can go shotgun. But in the Peninsula District, just me being my size, I was the first, if I'm not mistaken, because people always tell me this, I think I was the first receiver under 6 feet to really like dominate our area. Like, to have over 1,000 yards receiving wasn't really heard of.
Right. And you had the most in your high school.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you got the
record, the single record, the career record. So that was just something known, because we were running, pro right, pro left. So, tight end, two backs, flanker, split end, but we were running option, power, just running the ball. Then you had your play action, deep route. So I ran 3 routes, well, really 4 routes in high school. I ran a go route, a post route, a post corner that I taught myself, that my dad actually taught me how to run. And that wasn't really a playbook thing until my senior year, once I showed it one day in practice. We had never really run no post corners. Right. And we ran the old school button hook, a real curl. So you get to 10 and you curl up to 12 and come back. You know what I'm saying? Back. So yeah, because everybody mostly played like cover 3, so it was like it was curling behind the curl flat. So my routes wasn't my strong suit. And I mean, I was a guy that ran 10-4, 10-5 and 100. I was a 4-3 kid, so I was like super fast in everybody. Somebody played cover 4. It didn't matter. I was running past everybody in high school. It just didn't matter. So one thing I knew I could do was just run fast. So when I got here to UVA, it was like, all right, we're gonna work on stems. I was like, what is a stem? It was like, that's when you take away the DB's leverage. I was like, what's a DB leverage? It was like, they can be either outside of you or he might be inside of you. If he's inside of you, you got to run the inside route. You need to stem him, get square, give him a head nod. And I was just like, what?
Mhm.
I was like, nah. I remember I was like, I don't need none of that. And don't get me wrong, I was like, my first couple weeks, I was lucky in the sense of the way that our DBs played their coverage based off how we played defense, that they would play catch technique. So I didn't really have to learn how to stem.
Right.
I was getting away with not knowing how to stem when I was in practice versus our DBs. But once we got against, like we play Auburn, or we get these Marylands, these other schools where they playing true shade man and they're not playing catch, that's when I realized, like, bro, I don't know how to run a route. I don't know how to run a speed out. Whether it's a 1 or a 3, whether it's a 3-step or whether it's 10 steps and out. Like, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They like, no, you need to run and roll out of it. So my routes were really bad, but I had an ego my first year. I used to be like, man, bump all this short stuff, throw it deep. And I remember one time, man, we played, I want to say Wake Forest my first year. And we had a play called 99. It was a read. If the corner was 8 yards pre-snap, you run the 10-yard stop. If he was less than that, you was running a go. Or if you felt like you closed this cushion, run the go. Man, I got like 3 minuses. And we watching film with the quarterbacks and the OC. Shout out to Sparky Woods. And I remember they was like, Ahmad, it was like, Hawk, it's a minus. You gotta shut it down. Run the stop route. We can get the ball to you. Get the ball to you in space. You're good after the catch. And Aaron was like, yeah, man, go ahead and hit the brakes on that. I could have got you the rock. So I'm looking, and because they keep rewinding it. So we go through that play, a couple plays later, we're running because we're running so many powers that we trying to run play action. So, it's a play action shot. So I'm thinking like high school, play action, Ronald throwing me to the end zone. I'm going to get it. It's not like that in college. It's like, nah, man, run the stop. Mm-hmm. Understand the principles. Mm-hmm. The third one, Bear, I got pissed. Mm-hmm. And I'm just a first year. So, first years don't talk. I'm just like, nah, man, I don't agree with that. I'm even, like, throw it. They're like, no, you covered. I was like, what? I'm not covered. I'm running by him. It was like, he's right there. I was like, if you throw the ball in the air, I guarantee you I'm going to get that. They can't run. Like, I'm just like a little egotistical first year because I was so used to just running by people. And it was happening like that in practice. Like, I was running by guys in practice, but they was playing catch technique. So it was a little different. Man, I remember I had a little attitude when AB pulled me to the side. He was just like, bro, if you don't know how to run routes and you don't do what the OC tell you to do, I don't care how gifted you are, you're not going to get the ball. Like, I'm not going to throw you the ball. Because what happens if I think you're going to go deep and you decide to stop because you finally have an epiphany that we're telling you, right? Like, basically, like, if I can't trust you, I can't throw it to you. So that was a big adjustment for me, just understanding routes and the principles and all the nuances of being a receiver.
Yeah, that's huge. What you just said is a clip because there's a lot of young wide receivers that they got that ego, and they don't understand you have to play within the system because the quarterback is going to throw. By the time you turn around, brother, that ball is probably almost there. You know what I mean? And so we got to have a connection. I can't be thinking you're going deep, or you're going to curl, or you're going to stop, or whatever, and you do the opposite. That's not it, man. That's not it. So yeah, thank you for that story because that was a great one. All right, so take me to the practice where you were like, I belong here. The one where you felt like, okay, this is turning out the way I wanted, and I'm starting to lock in, type of thing.
Man, that's a great question. So ego-wise, I always felt like I was good because I felt like I was just faster than everybody. That was the ego, being young. But when I had to have major surgery on my right ankle and not being not knowing if I lose a step or what the rehab process was. But once I finally got back on the field, because I missed that spring ball. So I missed my first ever spring ball because I was rehabbing my ankle. But that summer before the 98 season, I just really had to understand the nuances of playing receiver. So with me being injured and rehabbing, through rehab, I learned how to really run routes. I learned how to read coverage pre-snap, how to stem and set things up, because I wasn't confident that I'll have my wheels like I had. So it was like, I'm a smaller guy. I got to route you up. Right. So I just started watching so many different receivers and really working on my craft, that once we came back to fall camp in 98, like the first full team period, running with the ones and having to play the slot more now, because Terrence Wilkins is on one side and Kevin Carvey's on the other. And it's like, yo, only way you really gonna touch the field if you learn how to play in the slot. And if you gonna play in the slot, you gotta be able to run routes. You got, because it's backers in there. You ain't trying to get hit constantly by them. So that's when the light bulb went off. And it was like, all right, I found my call, and like I could be a guy that could work the slot. You know, I played a little running back in high school, and everybody thought I was a better running back than receiver. So that was Sparky Woods thinking too. It was like, look, man, you can run these mesh routes, you can run these whips, these smash routes. Like, we get you the ball now. By instinct, you run with the football in your hand like you was a running back. So if you learn how to really stick your foot in the dirt, change directions, and know where you're supposed to go, we can get you the ball, and you can be successful by not getting hit, because you'll be there and out of there, because I was so small.
Right.
So that camp is where it went off to me, like, all right, I could find my place in this. Because my first year was just ego, like I could just run by everybody, which was a lie.
Oh man, he said that was a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie. You know, I mean, it's like Tyreek Hill when he got to the NFL. Like, he was fast, but it's like, receiver wise, you're very raw.
Right.
So, you know, you're easy to essentially cover. You know, like the young me, if you just played off 10 yards, my ego still think I'm gonna close that 10 yards. Right. And like you said, the quarterback just patting the ball. Like, all right, when you gonna cut it off so I can get you the rock? But my ego's like, nah, I'm gonna just run by you.
Right. So speaking to that, I know Wally was one of the guys you spent a lot of time with, but in terms of receiver wise, who were the guys that helped you transition like the most in terms of like working those things out with route running and stuff like that?
I mean, Jermaine Crowell was huge in my development. Sean, he passed away, but he was older than me. He helped me out. And then a guy that was here before me that became like my brother, and I just said, you know, that he was on the other side, was Kevin Coffey. Like, Kevin Coffey like really helped me understand how to play receiver, because Kevin was a guy who was physically just super gifted as far as like height, jumping ability. He didn't have the best speed, but he had really good feet, really good change of direction. So Kevin was the opposite of me. Kevin used to say, I wish I had your speed. And I was like, I wish I was your height. Because he was like Randy Moss height. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wish I had his hands, because he had mitts. Like, he could really like pluck the ball. Mm-hmm. So that's how we became close, because it was like the attributes that made us who we were, we kind of wanted it for the other one. So, and we roomed together on away games and stuff like that. So Kevin really helped bring me along, just not only like on the field, but like off the field, just because I had a lot of like mental health things, like demons that I never processed and never knew I had. So he was somebody who could just help me process difficulties as far as life stuff that I was going through, that I didn't like talk to anybody, but before football games, it would kind of come out because I was like an emotional player. So, but yeah, Kevin was like the Kevin Coffey helped me so much, and he's still my brother to this day. So I would give him like the most flowers.
So that's what's up. Shout out to Kevin Coffey, man. That's what's up. So I'll tell you one of my moments. This was probably like second year.
Mm-hmm.
This was Megatron's last year. So Megatron was playing for Georgia Tech. I think we were like, I want to say something like maybe 4-2. Like, we weren't great, but we weren't doing terrible. Maybe something like that. I can't remember the exact record, so nobody quote me and make me look crazy, right? But I don't remember the exact record. But we were in Georgia Tech. It was a Thursday night game. And they said, listen, Megatron, he wasn't Megatron back then, but that's all I know to call him now. Megatron, they were like, yo, he has a bad hamstring. And so the corners was like, oh, we gonna lock him down. Like, we gonna sit on him. Let me tell you something, brother. Megatron had, I think it was 5 catches. Like Chris Cook and all of those guys, they know.
Yeah.
The guys who, Marcus Hamilton, those guys, shout out to Marcus and Chris. Those guys, yeah. So they know what he did. He'll tell you the exact stats because they were out there. But let me tell you something. This dude had 4 or 5 catches. Probably like 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, bro. It was like every time he touched it, he took it to the house, bro. Thursday night game, ESPN. I was like, oh, okay. Like, because that was my... Yo, but he did this with a bad hamstring, brother. Like, he had got hurt the game before. Yeah. So he legit was... That's when we knew, he first round. Like, he first round. So all right, so basically I say that to say, kind of tell me a moment, not even, because that wasn't Scott Stadium, but tell me a moment that you were playing where you were like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like, maybe gave you chills, or maybe you realized this is big time. You know what I mean?
Oh, shoot. It's a couple. So Florida State came here, played us. Was it 90? It was 99. Yeah, 90. Yes, 99, because they won the national championship that year. So this is my 3rd year. So I guess I need to say somebody before that. I'll say 98 when Des White went nuts. Georgia Tech went nuts on us down there. We were number 7 in the country. Womack and Thomas Jones had over 100 yards in the first half. I mean, we rolling. We are rolling, playing great football, winning by a couple of touchdowns. And Des White goes nuts in the second half. Almost like you said with Megatron. Not a lot of catches, but a lot of yards. He had over 200 yards, like 3 touchdowns. I'm talking about catching Joe Hamilton throwing scuds, like boom, this deep ball. I'm just like, good God. Yeah. So that was like my real first, like, yo, who is that?
Yeah.
I didn't get to see Torrey Hope my first year because I got injured. So I didn't get to see him live. That's the year where Torrey Hope scored like 3 or 4 touchdowns on Florida State, but I didn't get to see him live. But seeing Des White that year, but then getting to see Peter Ward in his prime was ridiculous. Like, Peter Ward caught a bubble. Back then it was just, slant bubble wasn't really prevalent, but they were in a slant bubble. When I tell you he made 3 dudes miss on the sideline with 1 cutback, the same pressure step, the Peter Ward pressure step. And that was the year he got in trouble for the shoplifting with Lavernius Coles and stuff. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you Peter Ward, and that's a guy who I kind of idolized because he wore number 9, and I wore 9 in high school. But I always felt like damn, that's what I supposed to look like. Yeah. Peter Ward was phenomenal, man.
Yeah, man. Those times where you're like, oh, that's big. You see those big time players, you're like, oh, okay, that's the goal.
They different. Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. You're like, okay, see what I can do. You know what I mean? Okay, so how about name a moment in Scott Stadium that gave you chills, like maybe a big game y'all won. I was part of the 2005 team that beat Florida State. Mm-hmm. That was my freshman year. So I was redshirted, but I was still part of the team, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a crazy game. So, and definitely got chills. So what's a moment in Scott Stadium where you were like, oh man, this is special?
So in Scott Stadium, 98 when we beat Clemson, I had like a coming out party that game versus one of the top corners in the country. He wore number 1. He was like Antoine. I forgot Antoine's last name, but he was like 6'1", 205. But that game, I remember Terrence Wilkins got knocked out catching. He got knocked out running the slant by De'Aaron Fox. And I remember the trainers asking him what his name was. He was like, "I'm Batman." And Clemson was a really good team, and just seeing Anthony Poindexter and Wally Rayner and Patrick Kearney in that defense, Antonio Dingle, all those guys just compete and just keep us in that game. And I say Terrence Wilkins' name because when we needed a play, our defense got to stop. He goes back in the game somehow. Has a really good punt return, and Aaron leads us down, and we end up scoring it and to win. And that was back in the day when Virginia wasn't known to beat Clemson. And mind you, my first year, we beat them down in Death Valley. So I don't remember before then how many times Virginia beat Clemson back-to-back years in a row. So we beat them our first and second year. And both of them, when we beat them in Death Valley, I think we beat them like 21-7. Like, it wasn't even a question. Like, Dex was killing them. And then Shannon Taylor was coming off the edge too. But I think that, to me, was like the first time I felt like the energy in Scott Stadium. But you fast forward the next year, because I talked about how Georgia Tech beat us down there. In 99, we returned the favor. They were top 10 in the country. And Thomas Jones goes absolutely bananas. Because they was beating us by almost 3 touchdowns after the first quarter. And when I tell you Thomas went crazy on them, Thomas had like $170, maybe $180. I mean, they ain't believe who Thomas was, because he had the numbers that was better than Ron Dane, but he wasn't getting the Heisman love. But after that game, and then Billy McMullen had this coming out party. David Rivers was filling in that quarterback for Dan Ellis. So everything was against us. And that was an electric game, because they stormed the field after we beat Georgia Tech that game.
Yeah, that's one of them games you're going to remember forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's talk about receiver again. Which one did you like more? Just a random question that I didn't even think about. Which one did you like more, receiver or a running back? Or
like corner. Don't get me, like, corner ended up being like my home, but it was nothing like catching a bomb. Like, there's no better feeling than catching a deep bomb. Seeing the ball just disappear in the air and come down, and you got to track it and you catch it, and just how demoralizing it is. Like, catching a deep bomb for 6, whether it's like 60, 70 yards, 40, like, it's nothing better than that. Like, I've gotten interceptions, pick sixes, but nothing feels better than catching the deep bomb. Really? Just knowing you can run by people.
So you really, okay. So, I mean, because you said you got a few pick sixes, which I know, yeah, you got a few. Mm-hmm. So you said that because that pick six, man, taking them points when they don't know it's coming,
Mm-hmm. Like, that's fun. Don't get me wrong. Pick six is fun, but to me, it's nothing better than just running by somebody in the ball. You just, like, it's no better feeling, man, when somebody's like 7 to 8 yards off of you, and they flip their hips and they trying to retreat, and you eat up the cushion and you just run right by them. Mm-hmm. Then you go track the ball, and just the roar of the crowd. Like, when you catch a deep ball, the roar of a crowd is crazy. Or you, like in Tech in 98, the crowd shut up. Like, when I caught the pass on Anthony Midget, everybody was hyped. It was, they trying to get the defense up. Everybody excited. As soon as it hit my face mask and I trapped it, it was nothing. Like, completely that feeling. Quiet. Yeah, that shut the hell up juice feeling of you gotta be quiet. While I run down the field like that, there's no better feeling. Now, you can get that with a pick six too. Like, you get a pick late in the game. I remember, like, my last ever play at Scott Stadium was picking off Phillip Rivers to seal the game versus NC State when they had Corn Robinson at receiver and stuff. And hearing that roar of picking him off and sealing the game, that was loud, but it's nothing like catching that bomb.
Gotcha. I feel you. So, okay. Staying in that area of conversation, so you already said corner was your favorite. So whose idea was it to switch you to corner from receiver?
Billy McMullen's decision. That's how great he was.
And so was another player bigger.
Oh yeah, like, my ego was gone by the time I finished my third year. So I had a battle with Billy in camp in '99, which was his first year, my third year, my true third year. And I had some struggles catching the ball, and it'd be times where they would take me out and put Billy in, and Billy would do work. Like he caught 2 touchdowns versus NC State. I dropped 2 bombs versus NC State. Like I dropped the bomb to open the play versus NC State, like a bomb. I'm wide open, dropped it. Damn. They take me out, put Billy in, run the same play, he get open.
He caught it.
Yeah, so it was like he was producing, but I was just holding him off just because I knew all the nuances, or I could just move to the slot too. So I remember after that season, I went and ran indoor track. Coach Wells let me run indoor track because I wanted to run track when I came to UVA, but I had to have surgery my first off season, and then my second off season, he wanted me to spend that to make, getting strong, because he felt like I may have lost some strength because I was rehabbing. So after that third year, he was like, I could go run track. When I ran track, I actually my weight dropped. So I was like $180, $179. I was playing at like 190 because I was feeling like I had to be bigger because I was running the slot. So, long story short, I felt like super fast, I'm about to run by folks. So I remember we had a team workout, just the players. And I'm kind of like evaluating. It was myself, Tavon Mason, Kevin Coffey, Billy McMullen, Demetrius Dotson. It's like James Johnson. It's a gang of us. So we we gonna kill. It's like 8 deep in the receiver room. We all could play. And I just remember looking over at our DBs, and we were super young. And like Tim Sproul was like the veteran corner we had. And I'm like Chesley Watson, who played for the basketball team, was coming out for football, and he was trying to learn how to play corner. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go ask coach, can I play both? Like play some DB also. Like I was like, I could do both. Cause there's so many receivers, I know they'll let me flip-flop back and forth. So I went and talked to Coach Wells, and he was like, well, get with Coach Price, and you're gonna have to learn how to backpedal again because you haven't backpedaled in years. And I was like, I felt like I was a good corner in high school because I got recruited to play corner at other schools. So long story short, started out spring, worked my way up through the depth chart, started performing. Before you know it, I never went back on offense. They kept me on defense. I was starting. So I'm thinking I would still get in on offense, but little did I know, all that love and praise of the brotherhood of, man, we deep at receiver mean you ain't coming back.
Yeah, that's what that deep conversation means. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't gotta come back. But if Billy McMullen wasn't as special as he was, and if I hadn't been talking to Kevin over years of transitioning from being an egomaniac and having a Napoleon complex, I just had an epiphany, like, move the defense.
Right.
Like your team, like you'll help your team better. You'll be able to do it. Hell, he better than you anyway, and he taller than you. So,
right.
And I felt like I was like he looked at me as a mentor. So I didn't feel like it would be fair if I was hating on him. And I felt like I was kind of holding him back too, because he took off that year for us. Like Billy did great thing. Ended up becoming an all-time leading receiver here at UVA. But I always tell people it's because of Billy McMullen. That's why I switched. And I mean that with admiration, not like hate. But that's how, like, I feel like if you honest with the universe and the Lord know you really being true and you don't doubt what he has for you. Because I was like, told my mom, I was like, Mom, I can always red shirt. And my mom was like, you don't got a red shirt. Believe in yourself. Like, if you made the switch, don't even think about red shirt. And she was right.
Right. That's what's up, man. Putting the team first.
Yeah.
I would say that's the biggest thing I heard from that story is that you put the team first, and you weren't bigger than the team, the program, or any person. And that's important for young athletes to understand. Like, you're gonna come to a point where you realize, oh, these are all dogs, and then you're gonna see somebody who's better than you, and you have to rationalize that in your head. Listen, he's better than me, right? And now there's 2 ways I can go about that. I can hate on him, or I can, I can find other avenues, which is either getting better in certain things or transitioning like you did, man. So I applaud you for that, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what's up. So let's say as a corner, right? Because you play both, receiver and corner. So 2 things. Would you say that playing receiver gave you an edge at being corner? And is there something that you feel like you could tell somebody in terms of giving them a tip, like these young corners, something they could look at or look for, or something, a mindset maybe that they could focus on to be better?
Yeah, I feel like, so the fact that I really dove into learning the craft of receiver and playing receiver and having so many games and experience of reading coverages on the fly, pre-snap, that once I got to DB, I could tap into that reserve and that knowledge and the resource that I had as far as ball. Where's the ball at? Where is he lined up at? What's the down and distance? Looking at the body, like looking at how they lined up when it's like, there's a lot of tendencies that a receiver has that you don't know.
Right.
But it's there. Like some receivers could tell you how they line up, that is a run play, but they don't even know it. You could tell when it's a pass play. And it was, I mean, that's at every level. I've looked and seen NFL guys be the same way. It's just the body language, like, because you're excited. Unless you're like a Hines Ward type of receiver who love contact, most receivers going to tell you if they're getting the ball or if they're not getting the ball. The elites, you can't really tell, but I just felt like when I got the corner and I played top guys like a Snoop Mendes or a Rod Gardner who was at Clemson or a Corn Robinson at NC State, those guys were really good, but the fact that I played a position helped me even though I was really green.
Right.
So I was green and those guys were top guys, but you know, just being in, feel like I was still one of them, it helped make up that ground that I was lacking with the experience of playing corner. So that helps out a lot. But I always tell young guys, and my son, he plays corner, it's just like, you gotta understand where the ball is at and where receivers lined up at and why. And understanding what your leverage is pre-snap and what they're within 5 yards. Is he trying, like if you're outside leverage, is he trying to square you up? Like is he stemming towards your outside shoulder?
Right.
Why is he doing that?
Right.
Because he could be trying to open up more space for an inside window. It could be a bang route. So he's widening you out to go back inside to stay away from the safety.
Right.
If you inside leverage and he just runs outside and releases, well, he's letting you know, like, dog, he going there. Like,
right.
And, like, you know what I'm saying? But some good receivers are still, if they got just say they got a corner route and you playing inside leverage, a good receiver still gonna try to stem to that inside shoulder. He's still gonna try to threaten. But if he squares you up, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna come back out.
Right.
You know, that's still it's still indicators, but it just depends because a lot of techniques have changed now. A lot of guys stem differently, but I felt like that helped me out my last year at UVA because I could read routes quick. You know what I'm saying? Even we were playing like cover 2 or cover 3, I could understand route concepts really quick. If we played cover 2 from a former receiver and from playing slot, anytime we was in cover 2 and I had twins to the side, I was just looking at the slot. I never looked at number 1. I always looked at 2 because 2 would tell me where the ball was going. If he's going out, that means he's clean. He got to be going deep. If he's going away from me, then he's my only threat. He's doing something to go inside, like it's going to be a mirror some way, or it's going to be a hollow. So that really helped me really accelerate my maturation at playing corner to where I was able to start and then able to lead a team in interceptions, just because my receiver part of me would just say ball or get to this window, get to that window.
Right. So switching from receiver to corner taught you a lot of adaptability in general, right?
Yeah.
Which I mean, that transitions to a lot of different things, you know, and it transitions to life as well. So what was the next chapter like when you were trying to make it professionally? Man,
so I worked out, you know, so back then, another old school story. Back then you had 3 pro days at the school, 3. Now you just get 1 big one. Yeah, you had 3.
Was it different events or?
No, you had 3 different pro days there. I didn't get invited to the combine, but you would go to the combine if you got invited.
Right.
And then you had up to 3 pro days.
What was the purpose of that though?
Just if teams wasn't available to come, they could schedule to come another day. So we had 3 different pro days, 3 different chances to showcase our talent. So, I mean, I think by the last time it was maybe probably like 2 teams. And then they would just request the guys that they wanted to work. So it was almost like an individual, but it was truly a pro day. But when I was getting ready for the draft, you know, I remained that corner. It was still some teams that still wanted to see me at receiver. And I remember the Chiefs was one of the teams that was like, you play receiver, so we'll still look at you as receiver. But the draft came around, I didn't get drafted. I remember getting a phone call from the Chiefs on the 5th round. They ended up taking with a guy named Derek Blaylock who played running back. But it wasn't like they was gonna draft me. They were just letting me know that they were interested, and hey, if you don't get drafted, you come as a undrafted rookie free agent.
Tryouts.
Yeah. Well, not even tryout. They just would sign me
as a free agent.
As a free agent. So, but then my agent, you know, I ended up firing him, but he didn't really. So this was funny about that. Ray Savage ended up becoming my agent shortly after the draft, but Ray Savage was the reason I even got a chance with the Falcons, because he told my former agent about the need for corners in Atlanta. And then he got me to get to Atlanta. Lo and behold, Vic gets drafted in Atlanta. Vic's my boy from childhood, so he was my roommate during camp. I got my nickname from the camp with the Falcons. They called me Ball Hawk out the first couple of practices because I was getting my hands on so many passes. Either I was breaking them up or I was picking them. So they did a little feature and they was like, Ball Hawk alert. And they said, saying I was getting my hands on, because my goal was, if I get my hands on the football at least 3 times at practice, and this was like, whether it was 7-on-7, 1-on-1s, or a team, I felt like I was doing my job, like legit pass breakups, not overthrowing them and you catching a pick. Like, no, right. I'm going downhill breaking. Like, I'm being honest with myself. And I was doing a good job of that. And I really had a really good camp in Atlanta. And I ended up actually getting through all the cuts. And then I got cut 2 hours later because they decided to cut a guy that they drafted in the 5th round that played receiver that wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. And in the process of cutting him, he was supposed to be the starting punt returner. And they signed a defensive back from the Broncos. Last name was Gordon. And lo and behold, he played corner as well. So when it came down to roster movement, it was like, who's the last guy on the totem pole for your corners? And it was like, Hawkins. So we had 2 studs at the corner position as far as special teamers. We had Derek Vaughn, who was the NFC leader in kickoff return average. And then we had, I forgot Elijah's last name, he went to Florida. But he was like a demon on like kickoff team, punt team. So they had 2 top guys. They weren't gonna cut those 2 guys to keep me. And then you had Ambrose and you had, I forgot the OG that went with the Louisville, War 34, crap. Played in Atlanta, Buchanan. He was there too. So they wasn't gonna cut, you know what I'm saying? I was the 5th guy. So that's how I got cut from Atlanta. And I remember Vic asked me to stay there and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go back home. And then I worked out for the Chiefs shortly after, had a really good workout. I was the only corner and they had like 4 or 5 receivers. And in that workout, man, I had like 3 or 4 picks of Joe Germain. Shout out to Joe Germain, man. And it was in the process of signing me, and then 9/11 took place the next week. And then my grandfather died. So I didn't go to the practice squad until November. I signed with them in the practice squad in November and stayed there and went to NFL Europe, did well. Was second in Europe in picks. We won the World Bowl. Nice. And yeah, man. So, long story short, I learned the hard way about the NFL and relationships and who coaches. Like, having a relationship with a head coach is important. I had another really good camp with the Chiefs. Got down to the last cuts. Coach Ramil called me in. He was like, hey, Coach Ramil sat me down. And I'm thinking like, he just wanted to talk to me. And I know I'm getting cut. But he was very transparent. And I respect him to this day. Like, Coach Ramil did like, he was the biggest blessing for me ever as far as my pro career, because he was super honest with me. He allowed me to vent. He gave me the truth, and he made me make the decision as far as like my career going forward. And without his transparency and pulling the curtain back as far as like the business, I probably would have just crashed out and did dumb stuff once I got home. But he was like, look, man, we got scouts here. If it was up to the scouts, you'll be on the team because they all picked you.
Right.
I picked so-and-so. I ain't gonna say the individual's name, but he won the Super Bowl with him with the Rams. And my vote is the most important vote.
Right.
So that's why you getting cut. And he let me vent. Why you got these scouts? Why you got coaches? If you just gonna do what you want to do, I'm mad. Like, this is my dream.
I mean, rightfully so.
Yeah, he's like, I understand where you're coming from, but let me tell you something. You know what your issue is? Nobody knows what you really are. Because on practice squad, I was doing offense and defense. If it was a defensive period, I was playing receiver. Back then, you only had 5 guys on practice squad. So I would play receiver, and then if it was an offensive period, I'd go to corner. And I would mimic whoever we were playing against. And I was practicing so hard and making sure I know both, is that like, what the hell are you? Even though when it got to camp, I was just playing corner. But he was like, I feel like you can probably be like a slot. Like, nobody's gonna know what you are. So he was like, I know a guy that is owning a new team in a league where they need guys like you that could do both. And I was like, what's that? He was like, you ever heard of Arena Football League? And I was like, well, I watched one of their games who was playing San Francisco in the preseason. I watched like the San Jose SaberCats win the Arena Bowl. And I remember Cleveland Thomas, who I played against at Florida State, was one of, like a rookie and was doing his thing. And I remember looking at it like, man, they play both ways? Shoot. Like, in my head, like, damn, that league probably be for me. Full circle. He calls Coach Elway, let him know, like, I got a guy I'm cutting, shares my information. If you got any invites, here's his information. Another universe working. I go home, I get a phone call from one of my coaches that was in Europe named Lee Johnson. Lee go, what's up, folk? Yeah, I heard you with us now. I was like, who was us? He was like, Colorado Crush, Elway's team. I was like, so what you coaching? He's like, I'm the D coordinator. I'm glad we got you, because I was gonna call you anyway, but John slid your name on my desk to say, hey, I got a call from Dick Vermeil about this kid. And he was like, I know him. He played for me in Europe. He led us in picks, was second in Europe in picks. And once I got there, my goal, I had a book where I wrote out goals. And this always tell kids, be intentional with God. I said, my goal is to play a decade of professional football. Just professional. I didn't say a league.
Right.
And lo and behold, after that, I played 10 years in the Arena Football League. So as much as I could be like, just thinking NFL, I wasn't specific, but he knew. You know what I'm saying? Because who would have thought that once I got cut, all the guys, it was 3 guys from that coaching staff. The receivers coach was the offensive coordinator. His daddy was the head coach. And then defensive coordinator was the defensive line coach from that Europe team. So I got 3 coaches from NFL Europe that's at very important roles on an Arena Football team that was waiting for me.
Yep. See, I've grown in God enough to know that God don't do coincidences. God set things up. And so that was set up for you. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you weren't specific, but God said, you said what you wanted. I can get you there.
Yeah, I get you there. Yep.
I get you there.
Yep.
And then you ended up being an all-pro, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ended up doing your thing, leaving your mark, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I applaud you, man. What made that league special for you?
What made the league special for me was, here's the thing, man. I understand the NFL, like being on the practice squad, back then you made like $80K for being on the practice squad all year. When I got to the Arena League, my first year, the rookie contract was like $26K for 16 games in playoffs, but they pay for your living. So they give you 2 meals a day, and they pay for the apartment and all the utilities, cable, whatever. So I'm like, yo, my mom make that in a year.
Right.
So I put things in perspective. So when I got there, my rookie year, I wasn't spending no money. Like if I make 26, I remember Adrian Lunsford, shout out to OG Adrian Lunsford. And I was blessed to have like, I think the best OGs on that Colorado team. Not only just helping me be a professional, how I practice on the field, but being like the financial literacy part. Like he challenged me, he said, man, you young, you still live with your mama, which he was telling the truth. I still live with my mom. Right. He was like, man, you should try to take like 10K home, at least. I think I took home like 15 to 16. Now, granted, it's taxes and stuff, but I didn't have to, man, I could eat ramen noodles, or I could take the leftovers from the lunch, from the practice, or per diem from the away games. Like you get a couple hundred per diem, bro. Like you really didn't have to spend your check. But just the fact that I had an OG telling me like, save up your money, because I tell you a little story. After my first year, we didn't do that well. We only won 2 games, but I led all rookies in picks. I was tied. Wheeler from the Los Angeles Avengers, we both had 5 picks. I go home, I'm on cloud 9. I'm not planning to work or anything. I was just gonna prepare, get ready for the next year. Hurricane Isabel hit and hit us hard over there in the Tidewater. So we without lights, just got water. But that money I had saved up helped me help my mom's out. She needed a vehicle, helped my mom get a vehicle. Then I started working at Walmart, so I got my first ever job. Then I started working at a railroad yard with guys that was getting released from the penitentiary, parolees, but you had to load up box carts, so it was manual labor. So I'm gonna tell you how like on the hustle I was that off season, bro. I would go to work at the box carts, had to be there at 5 a.m. You got paid $100, which are like depending on your team. So it's like $500. It's $400 a box cart. When you first start, if it's 6 or 7 of y'all, you got to split up that $400 pot. I end up knowing a guy that he had 3 guys on his team. He needed another one, 4. So that's $100. So we would do that box cart. Once I learned, we could do a box cart in less than an hour. So you either loading rice, flour, beans, but you loading up, and they was sending it, I think, to the troops or whatever. But anyway, I would do that. It'd take me like an hour and a half. We got so good, the supervisor would let us do 2 box carts. So 4 hours tops, I could make $200 and go home. Then I got a job at Walmart, and I would work that from 3 in the afternoon to 1 in the morning. So I go from 3 to 1 in the morning, go home, eat like 2 o'clock, wait, go to the railroad yard, work those couple hours, then go home, go to sleep. And I wasn't doing no football training. When I got to camp that next year, my second year, dog, I was strong as an ox. All I was lifting was them bags of flour, beans, and them joints like 20, 30 pounds a piece. Like you would have to either swing it or you have to cling it over your, like power cling it up and get it on your shoulder. Cause something like the flour was like 50 pounds. So it was like a workout. So when I got to that when I got back my second year at Colorado, dog, when I tell you I was probably like 10 pounds heavier than I was my rookie, but I was like just a strong ass press cover specialist. I had like 80 tackles that next year, like 1 pick, because I couldn't.
As a corner.
I couldn't do nothing but just jam you and hit you.
my man was tackling that's linebacker numbers, man.
I was really Brian Dawkins. But see, out there, your safeties and your corners, since it's a passing league, you're gonna lead the team in tackles. Like my boy Rashad Floyd, who played the safety, he was breaking the record every year. He'd have 120 tackles, 127 tackles. So he had 127 tackles. I had 77 tackles. My rookie year, I had like 40 tackles. That was it. So
Yeah.
that next year I had like 77 tackles, like 20 pass breakups, like, but I was just mauling guys. I thought I was like Brian Dawkins out there.
Man, you wild. Dawkins was legend.
Yeah, Weapon X, that dude, man.
Man, legend. All right, so let's before we switch to the media and like
Okay.
you know how you went on after that. And let's one more question about that would be, what's something do you think that fans misunderstand about professional, semi-pro, all that stuff? I played a little bit of semi-pro after I didn't make, like, I had a few camps, but I didn't make the team, you know. And then I had some semi-pro situations. San Jose SaberCats actually called me after I had torn my calf muscle.
Oh, wow.
And I was playing for a semi-pro team, Richmond Raiders or something like that.
Yeah.
And I had torn my calf muscle, right?
Yeah.
And so they called me. They were like, hey, we want to fly you out. Here's what we're paying and all of that. My daughter was just born. And so being that I had went through so much in the process, I was like, man, I don't know if I could even, you know what I'm saying? I just chose to kind of save my body and, you know, kind of hang it up. So that was the end of my journey. So basically, what's something that people don't know about professional football that they maybe misunderstand?
I would say the biggest misconception is all pro athletes aren't divas. That's like the minority.
Right.
Like, I would say this. I was a guy who was in the AFL. If you're going to insult me, I don't feel like it's an insult if you say, oh, you ain't make it to the NFL. I'm just like, okay.
Right.
You know, because I'm getting paid to play a game, and that's the biggest blessing ever. And then I have the option to work in the off season or start my own business off season. But the money, I'm still able to live without working in the workforce.
Right.
And I think a lot of times, I don't think a lot of people understood, like, our game, the pay scale still allow us to be full-time pros. You know, and I don't know if it's envy or if it's just somebody hurt individuals, but they feel like they gotta just try to tear you down just because you didn't make it to the NFL. And it's like, do you know how hard it is to just be a pro? Whether it's the CFL, AFL, AFL2, IFL, any of these leagues. Now you got the UFL and all that. Like, it's tough to just play a game for a living. And I think just even players, like, you got to be more appreciative and thankful that you got this God-given ability to get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many ever years, but I got a hand right here. Like, your football career is like this finger that's in the middle of my palm. That's how much of your life it take up. It ain't that long. I mean, like Coach Ramil told me, I think you can make it NFL probably for 2 years. What you gonna do with 2 years worth of NFL money? Because that's not a lot of money.
Right.
I'm just like, damn. Because even somebody gave you $1 million, most people think, if I got $1 million, I could retire. Bro, $1 million not gonna last you that long because we know you're gonna do it up. We know you're gonna want to take care of people. That's just what we do.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. So financial literacy, all that stuff, man. It's so much more. People think getting money that's it. But it's so much more to getting money. Like, getting money is the beginning.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's so much harder to keep it. And a lot of people don't realize that, especially when it's not like you're rich, right? And then you learn that too, right? Like, when you first get that big check, you're like, oh, and then Uncle Sam come by, and then Social Security come by, and then everybody come by, and then you're like, oh, right? Like, you're like, oh, like, I'm still good, but damn, they didn't tell me it was like this. Like,
they call it the pro athlete tax, where, hey, we playing up in New York. All right, well, New York gonna tax you because you made money playing the New York Dragons.
That's a fact.
In Long Island. Oh, but when you go to Dallas and you play the Dallas Desperados, Texas don't got state tax, so you gonna keep your money there. But hey, Ahmad, wait a minute. You still got Virginia residency. This is a Commonwealth state. So Texas didn't tax you. Vegas didn't tax you when you went there. You played in Florida 4 times. They ain't tax you. We gonna take all the taxes that they ain't take. I need to get the heck up out of the Commonwealth.
I need to figure out how this is legal, right? You're like, this is robbery.
Yep. I said, let me just stay in Colorado and just get taxed by them.
My goodness. I mean, people knew the laws, man. Go. I mean, a lot of people don't know, like, you know, because if you look at the average, I think the average salary is something like $68,000, like just in general in America, right?
In America, yep.
And so you can do basic deduction with that, right? Like you don't, but when you start hitting that 6-figure and up, brother, they coming for you.
They coming. You better spend it. Like,
yep.
People always say, "Oh man, just save your money." It's like, no, you're right. You can save your money, but Uncle Sam will be like, "What do you own? Oh, you renting? Oh, sorry for you. So we're gonna need much." You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ain't got no mortgage? Oh, you got no HOA? Oh, you think you slick? So you ain't paying for nothing? Oh no.
Right, they're gonna say, oh, so you don't own nothing, right? And they're gonna tax you. But if you do own something, they're gonna say, well, I'm gonna need that property tax.
Yeah, we're gonna need that property tax.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that property.
Oh, you don't got
luxury. Hold on, it's luxury? Oh yeah, I need that extra luxury tax because you got something nice. Like what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, like I remember seeing that, and I said, wait, whoa, what?
I do not envy the likes of like LeBron James. I remember LeBron signed his deal for the Lakers and his signing bonus, and somebody broke down after taxes what he really was getting. I was like, whoa, it's like half. Like,
bro,
I wouldn't even want to have a signing bonus. Just put in my salary at least.
Oh,
spread it across like a sandwich. Don't give me a lump sum in one of them. Now give me a lump sum if I live in like Vegas or Florida or Texas. That's a little better, but one of them big cities, no, I don't want no signing bonus. No, I don't want no lump sum.
The last place you want to live is New York. I tell you what, brother. I think it might be close to 60% they taking out people checks when you make a lot. That's why the people with a lot of money are moving out of New York. I don't know if you heard about that, but
no, I ain't know. I mean, but that's what make like people, guys that I know that play in Canada, like you end up just staying over there because trying to get back and you getting hit again.
Yeah, they gonna hit you again. Yeah. For sure, man. I'm sure we just enlightened a few people about that. But listen, if you want to make $1 million and have it in your pocket, you got to make 2.5.
Yeah. Unless you live in one of them no state tax.
Yeah. Yep. Because they're gonna come and get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's move on to let you transition into the media. All right. So when did you realize storytelling, media, that type of thing? When did you realize that was something that you wanted to pursue in your next chapter? I mean, I know a little bit about how you had it going on in terms of, I know this is just me doing research. I think you did, shout out to Tonsler. I think you started at Tonsler, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. And then you kind of just transitioned. So how was that transition for you?
So ironically, when I look back on my life and talk to like former teammates, apparently I had been doing media stuff already, but I was just joking around. Like at UVA, doing media days, and like we had our media days on Mondays after games, so that Monday was the media day. I would always fake interview teammates when I wasn't up yet, and I would play around. And then when I got to the Colorado Crush, they actually brought an idea to me where I had the Hawks Nest, basically with it was Channel 6 up in Colorado, but they was doing a feature. Basically, it was like our own kind of Hard Knocks for the Colorado Crush, and we did it for 2 years. But I had a segment where I would interview different teammates, coaches, or whatever, and I would just have fun. Because I was always known for a guy to talk to people. And my wife would say I'm a personable guy. Like I'll just say hello and spark a conversation with anybody. So when I got here and my playing career was winding down, I want to say my very last year playing for the Georgia Force, the BCBA, which is the Banks College Basketball Association, ran by Damian Banks, aka Snakes. He was at Tonsler. It was his league. Wes Bellamy was actually playing on the team. I was playing on a different team. And I was always known as a trash talker, even when I played. So I talked a lot anyway. But when when I wasn't playing, I would talk. I would say, so-and-so got the ball. Oh, he just crossed him up, shot a 3. So I'm doing that and just laughing with people.
Right.
And Snake look at me and go, Hawk, you ever think about like commentating or announcing? I was like, nah. What you mean announcing? He was like you see on the Rucker Park, like with Ann one. I was like, nah, they don't got that around here. And he had a mic in his hand. He was like, we do today. I was like, so you want me to just MC? He was like
on the spot.
Oh, yeah, he put me on the spot. And I was a little shaky at the beginning because I had to find my foot and find my flow. And I was like, bro, I don't know everybody's name. And I remember he was like, you got the mic. That name could be anything you wanted to be. And that sparked what people see today. Just Damian Banks give me a microphone and me just saying, all right. So I started doing that. And I had been doing stuff locally, NBC 29 with Jerry Miller. Shout out to Jerry Miller. He had a football show that I would work on the panel. But when I first started with his show, I was really like, it's an old school cartoon for Looney Tunes. This should be this frog that would perform. But anytime
with the top hat.
Anytime the performer would bring an audience, the frog wouldn't perform. I felt like that's how I was on Jerry's show. I would talk, but it wouldn't be like me. It would just be, so the Cavaliers this week, they had, it was real monotone and pretty much boring.
Yeah.
But once I started doing the BCBA MCing, that hit a switch on my personality of like, I think I want to do this. And my mom and my dad named me after Ahmad Rashad. So it's like, it was predestined for me to do, to me, sports media, because I was named after Ahmad Rashad, whose real name is really Bobby Brown when he was at Oregon, but switched to Ahmad Rashad. Yeah. So, man. So once I started doing those games, Jay James had me come do Cavalier Countdown with Antonio Rice and Tyrone Lewis. And I continued to get better. I had a real good friend who passed away a couple years ago, Steve, used to play basketball here in North Grounds, and he told me about podcasting. He was like, hey man, I really feel like you should podcast. Cause I had started doing 92.7 Kiss FM, a sports show with them. And I'm a huge Breakfast fan club. And I'm a huge Charlamagne the God fan. And I'm Stephen A. Smith, Stuart Scott. So once I got an opportunity to basically do what the Breakfast Club does, but DJ as well. So I would play music, play sets, and then I get 10 minutes to just talk sports. Then I play more music.
Right.
When I started out, I was really bad. And I remember this Facebook group was lighting me up. Like, he trash, he this, he that. And I remember I jumped in there. I said, so what y'all want me to do? And I remember dude like, I don't know, man, you better do something because that's trash. They was like, wait a minute, ain't you the dude from the park? I was like, yeah. He was like, why don't you just do what you do at the park? And I was like, all right. So I remember that Friday, bro. I remember one of the producers, the head people was like, yeah, this might be the last day. Unless something changes. This might be your last day. I just say, if I'm gonna die being, like, if I'm gonna get fired, I'm gonna get fired being me.
That's real.
So I went in there, and that's what Petty Hawk was birthed. Cause I just started talking trash about the Cowboys. I was calling them the Clown Boys. I was having fun with like the Dwight Howard dunking on people. Like I was like really animated. And then I rapped at the end to Bobby Smurder's
Bobby Smurder.
So at the end, I rapped, I freestyled everything I talked about for those 3 hours.
That's hilarious, bro.
And I remember I cut the mic off. I felt like Martin, like when he went
when he's to the I know what you're talking about, the country.
I felt like Martin, and I was like, all right, I'm out. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the show. And I remember how I did the show was pre-recorded. So when I was driving home, you could hear the intro to the show. And I remember this is when you still had Blackberries. The Facebook was going crazy. And I was like, oh, they killing me. I remember I saw like 4 or 5 people was like, yo, y'all told me this dude was whack. Is this the same dude from early in the week? It was like, yeah. It was like, bro, I don't know what he did, but his show today was really good. Even when he was trying to they joined me because I'm freestyling. It's bad, but they find it funny because they was like, he freestyled everything he talked about. And I'm really rhyming. I'm just like, I'm not, so I was just like, man, I found my calling, just be myself, be animated. Of course, you got to clean some things up, always continue to sharpen your sword and understand your crowd. And I started podcasting while I was doing that. And lo and behold, once my podcast started taking off, the Ball Hawk Show, just like Martin, a country station came and bought 92.7. And they asked me to stay on board. And I was like, nah, I can't do it. I'm going to just podcast full time. Podcast grew legs. Got a following. Used to go Facebook Live while I was recording my podcast full time. And I'm really using Facebook as my marketing tool. Like I did so many Facebook Lives. My wife would tell you, but I was streaming before streaming. I was always on Facebook Live. Anytime I did anything with my podcast, they got to see me record it live. And then when I would upload it to Podbean, that's the first podcast platform I was using was Podbean. And I wasn't even doing YouTube then. I was just doing Facebook Live. And yeah, man, I was doing high school football around here too. I did that for 5 years. Like I really did grunt work. Right. It was like years before I got paid covering UVA. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just think that I just started where I'm at. Like, oh, you just got right to the top. No. It was like 5 years of me podding and doing Facebook Live. I wasn't getting no money from it. Right. None, bro. None.
Zero. Yeah. Like, no, I feel you. Like a lot of people need to understand everything's a grind. I don't care what it is. Everything's a grind, especially when you building something from the ground up.
Yes.
And so you need to be prepared to not get paid for 2 to 3 years. Yeah. You need to love it. You know what I mean? And so that, what you just told me, everyone needs to hear that. They need to hear, hey, because it's easy to see when somebody's doing something that they want to do. Oh man, he's so lucky. The lucky word is not, I don't like the word lucky because I've yet to meet somebody who's in a great position who was lucky.
Yeah. You know what luck is though, right? On hard work.
I think it was when hard work meets preparation, right? Yeah. So we've been taught that too. I know what you said. So it's not, so technically it ain't even luck because you set up your own luck. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that works. But yeah, man, it takes a will. You have to grind. You have to want it. You have to stay focused. You have to keep God first. It's not easy.
No,
it's not easy.
And I also learned in this space, or just navigating and everything, right? You can't have a certain privilege depending on who you are and what you've done. I think that's in life in general. Right. And I think if you're honest with yourself and you humble in the sense of you're appreciative of the people around you, you showing them that you're not like with the UVA media, and you was at practice the other day yourself. I would go up to speak to different like TV stations, radio stations, different anchors, different reporters, just to build a rapport with them, because you don't want to come off like you're threatened, like you trying to just compete with them. It's like we in this space together and we all got a different calling. We all got a different style. And I think when I came into the space and they just see a former player, and sometimes they may get a little protective because, they had to get it out the mud. And they feel like as a former player, when you jump in the space, it's like you kind of jump in the line. So you got to show them that you're capable to articulate yourself. And then at the same time, I always tell them, like, I'm not a reporter. I'm an analyst. I like to talk about the X's and O's. Right. That's why I don't really interview players after the game.
Right.
Like, my lane is to recap the game. My lane is to talk about the game, what I saw X's and O's. I'm appreciative of the Jeff Whites and the Jackies and Jerry Ratcliffe, like, and Greg Media, like all those guys, the reporting sense that I got the relationship with them to on my podcast. I could take an interview that they did, give them the credit and say, hey, this is so-and-so and so. Or when they doing their interview and I'm recapping the video, hey, that was Jeff. Or hey, that was Jackie. It's just one of them things where I don't know, man. I just feel blessed just to be in a position I'm in today, because people don't know I got turned the first time I tried to become the color analyst for Virginia Sports Radio Network. It was myself and Tony Covington. And I was green as hell. I didn't know what I was doing, you know? And Dave Kane was nice enough to say, hey, I think you'll be good on the high school level, working the high school circuit for a year or two, versus saying, you trash. He could have just said, you're trash. No.
Could have just came at you, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he was like, nah, man, I think if you really want to do this, show you willing to do this and go work the high school. I did the high school circuit for 4 years. For 4 years. And it was the best thing ever. It helped me work my craft. Shout out to Shannon Poole and Luke Neer and Jay James. Like, they helped sharpen me and get me right, because I was very raw. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That helped me a lot, what you just said, because you know, I'm getting it out the mud right now, and I'm just starting. And so, like you said, I felt like all the other outlets, because you know, having media passes and all of that, it's a big thing, right? So like now I'm showing up to all the media things and stuff like that, and they're kind of side-eyeing me, and I don't know, I didn't know how to take it. So now that you're saying what you're saying, I'm like, okay, I need to be a little. It's not that I'm not humble, because I'm a very humble guy.
Yeah.
It's more so I need to kind of portray that or let them know that or something, because like you said, they see me as a threat. A lot of them probably covered me when I or know of me or something like that. And so me being in that space now is like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? Like, is he a threat? Stuff like that. And it's more so like, you know, like you said, that my energy is we're all in this together type of thing. But I don't even know how to portray that or convey that. And so, like you said, I'm green. You know what I mean? And so I'm taking my lumps and trying to figure it out and navigating. And so everything you just said was huge, because at least I know, all right, so next time I go, I'm gonna start shaking some hands because it was, I don't know. It's like a lot of things they do and like they don't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so you gotta, you know how it is when you're starting out. They're not gonna tell you nothing. You just kind of following along. You're trying to figure it out, and you're learning as you go. And then all the media starts leaving. You're like, oh, I guess we're done. Like, you know what I mean? Or different things. Like, they just know what's going on because they've been doing it for so long, and you do not.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so,
yeah. And that's and I'm glad you said that, because there is no manual or book that's going to tell you how to navigate your way through the first fall practice of the year, and you only get 15 to 20 minutes. And here's the tough part that you're in, like I was. Trying to differentiate when I'm media and when I'm a former player and alum. Because if you're an alum, you can just stay, right? You can just stay at practice. Right. But what I've learned since I'm previewed the opportunity to remain at practice, I made a pact with myself is that I won't discuss anything that I saw past the media allotted time. And that's allowed the program to trust me to remain in the space, even though, like, because I'm on, you know, Capone said to me straight up, you either gonna be media or you're gonna be a former player. You can't be both at the same time. And I remember for years, I was just media, right? Like when Bronco Mendenhall was here, I was just media. And then I started doing like the walkthrough and things like that, where I started getting more and more access. Then I started doing some more sideline gigs where I got to travel. So now Bronco and his coaching staff built a, relationship with me to where it was like, oh, let Hawk in. Right. I don't care if he is media, let him stay. Right. You know, I had to earn that. Not given. And that was Capone, shout out to Capone, because that was Capone's way of showing me, like, you got to pick, and then whichever side you pick, you got to make sure you're building relationships to where the trust is there, because that staff that Bronco had didn't trust media unless you had to, like, if you was going to criticize them, it's a way of saying it. And that staff taught me how to hold people accountable without being like harsh and tearing them down. Not saying everybody, like, people think I may coddle the program, because I know I got relationships with somebody. Yeah. So I know how to say somebody had a bad game without really joning on them like we do pros. Because to me, I feel like, these are still young people. So I'd rather give you coaching points and reflect on the times I failed while holding you accountable. Like if a DB gets beat on the radio, I was like, yeah, John, I remember so-and-so beat me on a deep route. The next thing I had to do was forget about that, understand what I did wrong, but I had to make sure I stay engaged because you can't let that play affect you 2 and 3 plays down the road. So they forget that you scolded the kid for getting beat deep because you put yourself on the front line and say, I've been there. So
that's huge.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think you did a great job. Man, I just want to give you flowers because you came with, you came with 2 phones like, Kevin Gates, and you was
I was working, dog.
Working. You was, bro.
I was working. I was getting the angles, all of that, man. Like,
and you did good on you did really good. The assistant coaches press conference. I wanted to tell you that I didn't get a chance to
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Just seeing you from afar, just going up, taking the time to introduce yourself and just being one-on-one, because I like how you were just waiting to meet with them one-on-one, not just sit with others, that if you may not know this, but that means a lot to them because that's more intimate and that's you showing them that you really want to build with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I've experienced people coming in the middle of the interview.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced people not waiting. I've experienced people not caring if you're there. They just keep coming and keep going. So I've experienced all of it. Also, as a larger Black man, I can't be too aggressive.
Nope.
Do you know what I'm saying, right?
Oh, so I know what you're saying.
I can't be too aggressive, and I also can't be too cut offish, if that's even a word, like trying to cut people off before they get their words out, stuff like that. I just keep it very respectful at all times. I keep it very humble at all times. And I think without me talking, I think they're reading that, if that makes sense. Like that, hey, he's not here to step on anybody's toes. He doesn't think he's better than anyone. He's just here to get footage and build his platform like everybody else. You know what I mean? So yeah, so anybody building a platform out there, man, it's a lot of work. Just want you guys to know it's a lot of work. Stick to it, and you have to be passionate about it and love it. You can't just it can't be a side hustle thing. That's not it. That's not it. You're not gonna get that far. People have to see that you're dedicated, and you have to show respect and love for the craft in general. And then people start to notice, okay, at least he's not thinking he can just come in here and take over, and he doesn't have equipment. He didn't set up the right way. He doesn't have anything that even remotely says he's in media in terms of like no gear, right? Like,
yeah.
I spent a lot of money on lighting and gear and all of that stuff. Like when I interview in person, it's a studio. You know what I mean?
Invested in yourself.
I invested in myself, right? And so when I have interviews, every time I have an interview, like if we did it in person, you would be like, okay, because people don't know how invested I am.
Yep.
And so when they see what I'm putting into this, how I have a 2 PC set up in my house, how I have, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm invested. You know what I mean? Like this is a legacy thing I'm building. No matter what happens, this is something that's not going anywhere. Even if I decide to say, hey, I'm just gonna step back a little bit and let somebody else be the host or whatever I decide to do, because I'm working with another young man. Shout out to Reese. He's I think he's a 4th year now.
Okay.
But he has internships and all kind of stuff, and he's still working with me. You know, he's done the first 2 interviews, and he's working with the media in terms. I mean the social media is what I meant to say.
Okay.
So it takes a lot. It takes a lot. I'm willing to put that in. It's been very rewarding in terms of the love I've gotten back from fans. So I plan to stick through it. But everything you said, I appreciate that, man, because I kind of needed to hear that. So, you building it from the ground up, where, like you said, you did the same thing I did, and then you had to take a couple other avenues to, lay the groundwork and work on your craft and stuff. So yeah, I'm locked in.
And I also, because I identify that people did a lot for me that didn't, like Chris Wright for the Sabre did so much for me that he didn't have to do, but he allowed me to have my own column while I was still playing arena football in 05 and 06. Like, having a column teaching me how to write and really articulate myself and draw pictures without having like a prompter, things like, because we real visual people with football, because you have to be on the field because you got to see the picture. But the toughest thing to do is to articulate what's pictured in your head in a limited time. And lack of better words, they say dumb it down, but put it in a simplified mode to where anybody could pick up on it.
And everybody didn't play football, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part. And I think like guys like John Freeman, like my broadcast partner, the voice of the Who's, sometimes I could get caught up in just football jargon. Just, they was in cover 4 right there. Or they was in cover 6. And he be like, hey, Hawk, can you let the people know what cover 6 is? That's being a good teammate. Like, identifying that, Hawk, you talking football jargon.
Right. Let
them know what that is. Like, can you illustrate that through your words? And, and then I learned from Tony Covington, who was a analyst before myself, when I was the sideline reporter, just being on the broadcast with him and just breaking bread with Cub, and just, he mentoring me and he would listen to the podcast. And, I've haven't, and I've been lucky, I haven't ran into gatekeepers yet of guys who just don't want to share information.
Right.
That's why I'm so open to anybody. I'm not above coming on anybody's platform or above breaking bread with somebody and sharing thoughts and saying, hey man, I think, because I'm just one of those guys that even if somebody might not be that good, I'm still gonna say, hey bro, I think you do this really well. We all gotta get better, in different ways. Because everybody see like the Stephen A. Smiths or the Pat McAfees and think it's just gonna happen just like that. Right. It's like, bro, Pat McAfee started his podcast in his garage. Even though, he was a millionaire, he played, he was a punter, he was a millionaire based off football, but he still started on his own, and he got out the mud and he sold his show to this, platform. They bought it, and then ESPN bought it, and then they inherited that. Like the money he's getting, he got it out the mud. They don't know Stephen A. Smith journey. Like people don't identify journeys. I always tell young people, you guys see the diamond. You don't see when they was in the cold. You don't see when they got put in the fire. You don't see when it's time for them to get cut. You just see them shining, and you think, I just want to shine. No, don't skip the process. That's why I tell people about 92.7 Kiss FM and people dragging me on Facebook saying I was trash. Me putting my ego to the side and saying, I got to get better. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
You could have just got mad, and instead of doing that, you jumped in and said, well, what can I do to be better?
Yeah, I could have said, y'all just hating. Y'all hating, and kept doing the same thing. Or when Dave came saying, hey, go to high school route. What? I just retired from the AFL. I ain't calling no high school games. You know who I am? No, humble myself. Like, this is a new journey. Go learn it. Channing Poole's right there. He do this and UVA baseball, so he know what to look for. Helping me sharpen my tool. And then when JJ's came, helping me sharpen my tool. Like Luke Neer sharpen my tool. Like, it's so many people that just helped me along the way. It's like, man, I'm appreciative. And then when I got the job, just even John Freeman, like, hey man, treat this just like you do with football. Once we done, here's the website where we download the radio broadcast. Listen to yourself and understand where you need to improve, and then understand where you keep sharpening it. So, I mean, it's just not being afraid of accountability, and not thinking you got it figured out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think you on a great track with that. Like, you're not coming in like you got it figured out, but you understand your worth. You understand where you want to go. Like, understand your goals, understand where you want to go. But if it's one little gem I could give you, relationships. Learn, like, introduce yourself to a Brad Franklin or a Jackie Francois or Jerry Radcliffe, Greg Media. Like, introduce yourself to, Scott, you get the emails from Scott, but like, if you build a relationship with those different folks, and if you could collab and get on their platform or bring them on to your platform and learn who they are, those relationships go a long way in the end, because we all gonna need each other. We all got ideas. We all may have information. And there's some things where they gotta respect, like, yo, I can't tell you that information because it's confidential. And they respect it, you know?
Right, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. All right. So we're gonna transition. We could talk this all day. So let's transition so we can, because we're already 2 hours in? Almost?
Yeah, I'm long-winded.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's you, man. When the conversation is good, the conversation is good. You know what I mean? So
yeah, appreciate you.
But yeah, so all right, let's look since we're talking about broadcasting, let's look at broadcasting and football. Let's mash those together. So let's say you've seen football, specifically UVA football, from a lot of different angles. So what's the difference between the different angles and like what makes this program special? Because you've seen it as an analyst, you've seen it as a player, then you saw it as a fan, and you've seen, because I remember not being a player, coming back as a fan was a whole new world for me. I was like, oh, this is what you guys do on the sideline? This is crazy. First of all, it's fun. Second of all, this is what you guys are doing? Like, this is sick, right? And then now I'm seeing it from the media standpoint, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm getting a lot of different things now that I wasn't able to fully process in terms of the business side. So, like, basically the question is, what makes this program special from all those different angles?
Oh man, so what I gather from just all the different aspects, right? Because like you, when I came back here, we were season ticket holders for a year, and I got to just enjoy a season just as a fan, just being in the stands, just seeing them going crazy, seeing the conversations, seeing the frustrations, just my eyes opening up to the game experience.
Right.
I really felt like that was the best thing that ever happened for me, because I lost sight, and it was always, as a player, you always feel like if a fan is saying something that you don't like, you always get defensive, because that's your livelihood, right? That's your job. That's your skill set. Like, you don't got no idea. You just up in the fans, but it's like, bro, the fans is actually your biggest advocates. And at the end of the day, they really just want you to do better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how they communicated it, they really want to see you win at the end of the day. Trust me. They love the program, and you're a part of the program. So Virginia's special just for the sense of like the generational fans. Mm-hmm. Like just hearing fans say, my dad used to do this, then my grandparents, like they were here for this, and during like in the 1960s, this and that, and then in the 1970s, and you just hearing people just going down generations, just describing as a fan, like what they saw in this game and when this happened. So it's opened my eyes as a former player. It's like, damn, you really do care. Like, you just not feeding the wolves or just crying or bitching or moaning. Like, I understand, because your grandparents spent so much money on tickets and they tailgated. So it's like the same love we have for guys in the locker room, those fans have for the program in itself.
Right.
Like, they're protective of the brand.
Yeah.
We're protected of our brothers and the V-Saber and the pride, the blood, sweat, and tears. And they sitting there like, we blood, sweat, and tears up here.
Right. It's a different angle, but it's the same beat.
It's the same. And we all a family. And as much as back in the old days, like, man, they don't play, they don't know. It's like, bro, you know what? We got to help them. Like, we got to stop saying that and just bridge the gap and hear them out and respect their stance, respect what they communicate. Because that's helped me being in this media field, because I used to get really defensive and let Petty Hawk just, the fans, this and this and that. And I'd be on these message boards and I'm being super defensive. But then I had to sit back and say, hey, man, you always, like, I work in the school system and always talk about brain states and growth mindset. It's like, when you're practicing growth mindset, you have to listen and identify what somebody's saying to you, receive it, and apply it. And I wasn't doing that with fans. So I will always be at odds. Right. And it's like, man, if I'm trying to grow my platform and really try to get them to like my product, I can't just be chopping their legs when they say something I don't like and feel like I could just say, well, I played and you didn't. Because that's like a spoiled brat. That's like taking my basketball and going home. And I think once I started taking that approach, bro, they really helped me grow in the space as far as being better at my job. And then that also helped me as a former player understand how to articulate myself and hold coaching staff, coaches and or players available on live radio without feeling like I'm just saying, man, that was stupid. Why would we do that?
Right.
Where now I go, well, I kind of see why we might have chosen that, like why we threw right there, because in the past it was this many, defenders in the box. But at the same time, sometimes you just gotta do what they think you're gonna do and give your defense a chance. Like I just realized there's many ways to just say things and do things. And I feel like the relationships I build with coaches, and coaching my son in high school, from that aspect, I understand now how quick and easy it is to second guess a coach's decision. You see the result. So that part as well, once I started coaching, and then when I was a season ticket holder, going in message boards, I got the best of all those worlds. So I was like, yo, I think I got it. To where I could always just pull from different hats and just say, all right, that fan really ain't tripping. Yeah, he might be cussing the program out, but I know what he's trying to say.
Right.
Because it comes from a place of love. At the end of the day, all these fans love the program.
Yeah, they want you to win.
Yeah, and the one thing I think I'll never do that I did, to this day, I always tell this story. When I first came back and I was on the radio and Coach Grove was the head coach, I remember doing one of the pregame shows, and I was like with the fan, man, we need to fire him. He don't know what he's doing, but it's like, I didn't know.
Right.
All the entails of what it took to coach, the moving parts. And that was like my biggest regret ever saying a coach should be fired. And that's the one thing I'll never do. I'll never just say a coach need to be fired, because I'm going to keep trying to find a solution of why we may be losing, what we can do.
Right. Like, so B.I. is coaching Armand. He's been coaching Armand for 10, 13 years. Shout out to B.I., by the way.
Now, this is my second year volunteering with him, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So shout out to B.I. So that's one thing that I learned when I first came back, when I was in the fan phase. I had a friend who, Demetrius Walker, his nickname is actually Bear.
So it's Bear. Yeah, he was
So shout out to Bear. I actually shot his episode. I got posted that. But yeah, so shout out to Bear. His son, Kamari,
yep.
He was a dog, right?
Yep.
So he was family, because Bear's actually a godson of mine. He's godfather of my son.
Okay.
So he's like family. So when his son was playing at Armand, it's his son, right? So he has a lot of gripes. You know how that goes, right? So he has a lot of gripes. And so I'm like, listen, man, it's a lot harder than you think. But he's like, this need to happen, that need to happen, this need to, you know how it is.
Quick
and
fit.
So, right. And so B.I. was getting it a lot, man. He was getting a lot of flack from all angles, man. Everywhere I turned, people were like, he needs to do this, he needs to do that, he needs to do this. And I'm just like, damn, like, so I actually met with him. I'm like, dude, what's up? Like, why, what's going on? Why are these all, he's like, man, people think they know better, and the program is like this. Before I got here, I'm switching it up, and they don't like the changes I'm making. And so if you really understand what it takes to coach, because I also coached, when I met with him, I was coaching the youth league connected to Armand. So I was, I was defensive coordinator, and I coached the D-line. Okay. And I was, doing well. We had won 2 championships, and they were like, well, why isn't Armand winning? And so I met with him. I'm like, yo, why are people talking? He just told me, he broke it down. And so that's my first taste of coaching, and how if you win, of course, you're great. But if you lose, and even if you're doing things the right way, everybody has something to say. Yeah. Everybody has something to say. And so that was a rough spot I was in with my son's godfather, and then B.I. being one of the homies, Yeah. I'm not trash talking people, but at the same time, I can say, okay, I understand your frustration. So you know what I'm saying? It's a hard position to be in. So this whole field is like, sometimes it's like minefields everywhere, right? Like, yeah. And many times, man, you'll be so sincere and not trying to be disrespectful, but it could be deemed as disrespectful. There's been plenty of times where I've broken down the game and pointing out when a DB or a receiver may not been performing well, and I think I'm
slow playing it because I'm saying, hey, I remember when I did this and I had a rough patch, and I go try to say what's up to the player. They be like, nah, dog, I listened to what you said. And it's like, then I got to realize, like, all right, when I was his age, I was the same. I was defensive because they always gonna hear the negative. No, how many, doesn't matter how many times you praise them, they're going to hear the negative. Just like, doesn't matter how many times somebody may praise a show or episode. It seems like we wired to look for the negative. And it's like,
right,
I got to shoot them that grace because I don't know what they're going through, you know? And then they come back around like, I ain't mean it like that. But yeah, I know how you feel, bro, because you're in a tough spot because we got a job to do at the end of the day. You got to show folks that you're going to be honest, but you just got to show your style of being honest is unique in its own way.
Right. I've even had, I'm not going to say any names with this one, but I've had somebody, he knows who he is. He came to me who's in UVA football big time, a staple, and he basically was letting me know, hey, you know, you're being watched. Like, you're already being watched. He's like, so just so you know, like, they're already tapping into you. They already know about you, you know, and be careful who you have on your show, and be careful what they say. And you know what I mean? And so I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. You know, I should be careful what I have on my show, and I should be careful what they say. But there is an aspect to the show of honesty that I'm trying to navigate in terms of, I want to be honest, I want to be real, but also I want to protect the program. So you already know what I'm talking about. So that has already happened for me, and I'm brand new. And so that's something I got to navigate. So
yeah, and it's tough, bro. Because here's the thing. This is what I had to learn myself. And I mean, you basically go on the same route as me. I created my own show because I could do what I want to do.
Right.
But at the same time, we can't forget we in their space.
Right.
So if you're going to be in their space, you got to kind of respect their wishes and how things are said about them. Or a lot of times, if somebody is truly mad about what you said about them, they probably feel like your relationship with them was better. I always felt like only time somebody really had an issue with me is if I shared my thoughts on them on this mic before I shared it with them in person. Anytime I've went to somebody and say, hey man, why you do X, Y, Z? And they tell me, and even if we don't agree, I'm like, you know, I got to discuss this. They'd be like, oh no, you cool because you already said it to me. So it ain't gonna be out of left field.
Right.
It's when you blindside folks, I think, to me personally, especially I think within the program, being an alum, I think it's like the common courtesy type of conversation first.
Yeah.
And then, because I think a lot of times when I giving a common courtesy conversation, I actually have like more of insight, and my stance and my delivery changes because it's like, oh shoot, I'm glad I talked to you first. You know what I'm saying? Because I was about to go, Petty Hawk's about to go in.
He said Petty Hawk.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could use Petty Hawk as a like deterrent of, well, that ain't a mod, that's Petty Hawk. And then they caught on to that. I mean, look, man, I ain't got in trouble before. I ain't got in trouble a couple times just talking trash about either fans or teams or things of that nature. And I done got emails, I done got phone calls. Like, you be like, yo, who number is this? Hey, you get a text message, hey, can you talk? Like, yeah, who is this? And then the phone ring, and it's like, whoa, how you get my number? And it's like, look, man, hey, you might want to take this down, or you might want to go back and reiterate what you meant, because that ain't a good look. And that's just them give you a common courtesy because they want you in the space. They feel like you could do good for the program, but hey, they can limit what you got access to. You got to respect it.
Right, absolutely. And I respect it.
Yep.
You know, I respect the person that talked to me and said it, because they absolutely said it out of love, 100%.
Yeah, because it's like being a WWE in a sense. Or we saw this with Gil's Arenas. I don't know if you paid attention to Gil's Arenas when he
had a show, and then
you have Rashad McCants and Skip Bayless, both of them antagonists. So they always go against the grain. You can't have two of them on the show.
Right.
So it's like
that was a messy show, low key.
Yeah, and if you're gonna be in that, and I learned this too, because I learned this through my Petty Hawk
phase.
Like when I switch into Petty Hawk, if I'm gonna go Petty Hawk, I gotta understand if somebody's responding to Petty Hawk, that's the heel side of me. The heel isn't light. So if somebody coming at Petty Hawk, that's what comes with being the heel. Like you gotta accept what comes with. I could never be Skip Bayless, bro, because I couldn't be walking and people just hate the takes I have or call me a hater.
Yeah.
That's just not me. That's not my spirit. I'm a person, I like love and peace. So that's why I was like, I'm a glass half full. And if you reiterate that, then people understand, well, you're gonna be a person of reason. And they may say you baby him, it is what it is, but at least they know, like, all right, I know he's gonna be somebody of reason. And if you got the data and you can articulate yourself well, it's like, all right, they know your stance. Just like people know if some things hit the fire, I'm gonna listen to this person because I know he gonna rip them. And that's what I want. Feed my rip spirit. But I got people that like, Hawk, I'm gonna come to you because I know you can talk me off the ledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You just gotta embrace what lane you trying to carve out for yourself.
For sure. All right, man. We've been going at it. I got a few more for you, but I feel like we touched almost everything, man. Is there anything like specific?
No, go ahead. My bad. I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Now, what you was gonna say? I ain't let you finish your thought.
I was just gonna ask if there's anything like that you feel like we should tap on subject-wise about not just you, about maybe UVA, anything at all that's on your mind,
I would say this about the program, and I could just only speak to the football program. UVA showed me that it still got old school way of moving as far as being patient with coaches and the coaching staff, because we live in a microwave society now to where you don't really see a coach we don't allow coaches to truly struggle anymore. Just like you don't allow players to go through growing pains. It's like they rid you, they get rid of you.
Right.
So just seeing the administrative caller and the president, like everybody involved, just allowing Coach Elliott to find his way, being a first-time head coach, navigating that, going through the tragedy, navigating that, understanding the NIL landscape, navigating that, and then seeing the fruits of the labor last year. And now everybody want to see how this year's going to go. But the fact that when Justin Sparrow's the GM who got promoted to it, like it's been a lot of in-house promotions.
Right.
That's when you think about it, just as a business, when not just football, but just as a business, when you take on it, like when you become a part of a business and you see that they promote within, and then they're patient and they give you the resources to be successful, that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it trickles over like with Eric Ward and the stadium staff are just with the upgrades and what they're doing as far as the cosmetics, or as far as like the different companies they're allowing to facilitate the food and the drinks during the games, the presentation with Jamar and stuff. Like they even used me to do in-game analysis on the Jumbotron before I got the job I have now. But just seeing them think outside the box and listening to fans, like you rarely see that these days. The patience, the ability to have a ear to the streets, apply what people are asking, and then you promote within. Like I love that about the program. I'm not saying that because I'm an alum, but just somebody that just understands patience and playing for Coach George Walsh and how important it was that he loved to keep his core together, his coaching staff together, not having a lot of turnover. I think that goes a long way. And you was at the press conference with Justin, talked about how that's like a pitch for recruiting as a young person. It's like, if you're growing up in a single parent household, you may be used to seeing a revolving door, a lot of turnover, new faces.
Right.
So having you want that structure, you want those same faces, same voices to remain, and that keeps you where you're at, even if you are struggling as a collective program. So
right.
That's what I love. And I'm loving that the fans get to see a winning product that stuck there. And I know it was tough, but just seeing us win 11 games last year, it was fun for me to see the fans enjoy it. The Florida State game, like seeing those games we used to slip away, close them games, man. It was fun, man.
I mean, we beat Florida State and Tech in the same year. Let me tell you something, brother. Like, I listen, proud that's not even the word that covers it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I saw it coming. Like, because he built it from the ground, dude. And like I told you, I was a fan for years. And then as soon as I was here when Tony Elliott came over as a fan, right?
Yep.
And so just seeing what he's built, like, this whole podcast is because of Tony. And what I mean by that is Tony started reaching out to alumni in general and saying, listen, we need alumni as part of everything. And we need them here. We need them involved and all that. He understands what legacy means. He understands how important it is to have people who have been here to keep the culture and to support the current.
Yes.
Because 4 years goes by fast, young men. So if any of the young men that are watching it to play now, 4 years go by fast, only 1.5% of y'all are gonna go to the NFL. And that's just the numbers. You might go, but that's just the numbers. And that being said, you're gonna be part of this alumni brotherhood that's gonna be hiring you for jobs. There's gonna be, because he created a whole system, man, where these kids are getting hired before they even graduate, brother. You know what I'm saying? And like, then he gave kind of the green light for, shout out to Life After Virginia, Lava.
Mm-hmm.
He gave them the green light to kind of have the reins towards how they're going to handle the alumni, right? So there's a huge alumni network. There's an app now, brother. I don't know if you tapped into the app. If not, I'll give you the information. But they got a whole app where you can get hired right off the app as being an alumni. Like, like there's jobs that just for UVA football players. Like, we're looking for UVA football, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so there's that, and then they have a bunch of news. If somebody passes, it comes up. If there's any options to come see games, if there's, and then they just partnered officially with the football team, right? And so I'm like, man, people don't understand that by itself is a selling point, brother, because what you're telling me as a player is, after I play here and I'm done, that's not it. You see what I'm saying? We care about what happens after you're done playing, and I think Notre Dame is the closest to having an alumni network like ours. They have a setup similar to ours. I was talking to shout out to Thurston and Brian. I was talking to Thurston, and one of the things he was saying is, we have the most robust alumni network, and we need to tap into it, and we have been. And this is another product of that. I had the idea and I just ran with it, you know what I mean? And so I'm in contact with them regularly, you know what I mean? And we do things together, and I'm gonna have them on the show eventually. But it's just amazing seeing how much the alumni has embraced Lava, embraced me, embraced the program in general, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
And from day one, he always said, this is you guys' program. I want them to understand the guys whose shoulders they standing on right now. Like, I want to bring that together. And that's what I appreciate about Tony, and having conversations with him. And he's been transparent with me in different situations, just seeing him grow as a coach, as a man. Like, I appreciate that, because I had a really good relationship with Bronco Mendenhall and his staff as well. So it was just like, just seeing these coaches come in, embracing alum, because it was a time frame where it wasn't as peach, it wasn't smooth being an alum, just coming in and trying to get access to the program.
So listen, before Bronco, they didn't care that you was alumni. I'll be honest, they didn't care. And that's not us knocking the program. That's us just telling it like it is. Like, it just wasn't a huge, unless you were like a huge star in the program. Yep. And, like, for instance, shout out to Chris Long. Chris Long could walk wherever he wants on that field at any point. No one's really. I mean, he's media now. I believe he has his show.
Yeah,
Green light. Yeah,
Yeah,
Green Light.
Green Light.
So he does his own thing, but he didn't have to, and to his credit, he's won 2 Super Bowls, 2 different teams, played with Tom Brady. He's worked for that, right? And he's earned that. So to his credit, he's earned that. However, the new aim is that win a Super Bowl or not, like, you're important to the program. You know what I mean? And that's what everybody's embracing, and people are feeling special now, like in terms of, yeah, you know what? This is a brotherhood, because it didn't necessarily feel like that before.
Yeah, you're proud to be an alum. Like,
yeah,
you can be a former walk-on, or you might just be a career backup, but you were important to us. You wore
exactly
the jersey. You got the degree. It's like you said, it's like, we're not just gonna, what can you do for us in the end, which is your influence. It's like, no, you're an alum.
Right. Yeah. And as long as you're an alum, we love you, and we want you to come back. And I love you because, you know what? We all wore the same jersey. We all bled on that field. Mm-hmm. We all did. I don't know if y'all ran did you do the hill back when y'all used to work out behind Observatory Hill?
I heard about y'all though. We ain't do it.
No, you heard about it?
Yeah.
Dude, well, shout out to Matt Bayless. Let me tell you something. He came from Florida.
Uh-huh.
The boys will tell you, anywhere from 05 to 09, they'll all tell you. Chris will tell you. He tore us up, brother. I mean, he had us doing things that you were like, is this legal? Like, but here's what I will tell you. That led to that 2008 year. That was probably the second or third most productive year when they went to, what bowl game?
They played Auburn. Peach Bowl. You said 08. You said 08.
08, yeah, 08.
So 08 was Belk Bowl, but 09 is where they went and played Florida in the Orange Bowl.
Okay, that's that one. That's the one I'm talking about. So that one right there.
I'm tripping, bro.
Oh, it's 08, isn't it 08?
Yeah, you're right. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was 08. I'm about to say 09. I don't remember.
Mike was the coach, right?
08? Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that was at Auburn. Y'all played Auburn. They played Auburn in the Peach Bowl.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Chris's last year, right?
Oh shucks.
Yeah, because that was his last year, 08, right? Don't get us to line. Don't get us to line. Yeah.
Was Mike the head coach with Chris Long?
I'm trying to remember, bro. You know how it's all tying together. A little CTE kicking in.
Oh, you know, right. Somebody gonna say it in comments. Somebody correct us.
Yeah, somebody correct it. But y'all know what we talking about. That year when I think Jamil Sewell was. Shout out to Jamil. Jamil Sewell.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Auburn. Then yeah, Jamil was
Auburn. Here. Yeah.
Jamil was here. Y'all play Auburn. They play Auburn.
Man, what a dog Jamil was, right? When Michael had the longest run.
Oh no, that was
a different year. The Gator Bowl year. That's the year I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about the Gator Bowl year.
Texas Tech game.
Yeah, that's the year I'm talking about. The Gator Bowl year. Okay, that's the year. That was a year that was all grit, brother. That was an amazing year. So shout out to those guys. Yeah, Juice. He's doing big. Yeah, that's my dog. He's doing big things in Pennsylvania too, man. Giving back to the kids and stuff. So shout out to him, man. And that's another thing. We need to highlight this stuff, man. Like,
absolutely.
These guys need to be highlighted. You know what I mean? But yeah. All right, man. So look, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
So the name of the show is OnceAHoo, right?
Yeah.
So that phrase, OnceAHoo, like, I don't know, once a whatever, always or whatever, but that's where I got it from. So what does that phrase mean to you personally? OnceAHoo.
That phrase to me is that's a brotherhood. Once a who, always a who. It's no different than when guys transfer for 1 year. Once like Chandler Morris, 1 year.
Chandler Morris, yeah.
You a who?
What's his name? Plays for the Giants now. The receiver. He transferred to Notre Dame for a year.
Oh,
he's
Malachi.
From Charlottesville.
Yeah,
Malachi.
Malachi Field. Always a who. Once you wear this helmet, you always look like Noah Taylor went to UNC, which is like, oh my God, but he always a who. He wants a who. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Noah, man. He in Canada doing very good things. And I know that rubbed people the wrong way here going to UNC. I know. They let me
get it. We get it.
Once a who. You know what I'm saying?
We get it. But as a brotherhood, yeah, we support him no matter where he goes as a brotherhood. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you have to do certain things for your career. And, I can't get mad at you for wanting better for yourself. You know what I mean? So.
Nope. And I can't say, oh, you should have stayed. If it like, when you bet on yourself, you're taking a chance. Even if you stay, you still took a chance. And I get it, man. It's like the selfishness. Like fans have a selfishness of wanting that player and the services and what it brings to the program. So you understand that piece, and then the fan has to understand the piece of you may not really know what that individual want. Your selfishness will create a scenario for you to say this is why they should stay.
Right.
But you don't know all the moving parts of what may be going on behind the scenes. And it ain't always a negative thing. It's just they may need a new scenery, or it's a major, or they just feel like they play better over there in that style. At the end of the day, OnceAHoo. Right. We love you. Come on back.
Yep. Beautiful. I love that, my man. I love that. All right. So I'm going to thank you and tell you I appreciate you for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Much love, my brother.
Yes, sir.
And I wish you well on all your endeavors, my man. We're going to see each other a whole lot anyway.
Other, man. Yes, sir.
A whole lot anyway. So
that's going to be fun, man. Just seeing you in that space, especially up in the box, doing the games and stuff, man. It's going to be dope. You can come by and see us live, on the radio, pop your head in. I'll let you know where that's located.
For sure.
I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, man, and I'm excited for you, man. So I appreciate you inviting me on to your platform, man. It's definitely been an honor.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And with that, we will say bye from OnceAHoo. Everybody tap in. And just remember, OnceAHoo, always a who.